Talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Good morning. It is a Tuesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn Clark. He is Griffin Bass. And that was pleasant.
Was it?
I mean, it was... Yeah, I mean, I get it. It was a lot.
It's hairier than it.
It was a lot. But in the end, it's a pleasant way for an evening to go. Yeah, I always say there's nothing predictive about the Orioles. So nothing that happened last night makes me think that anything. By the way, I just noticed you were wearing your resplendent Scott Stapp Thanksgiving halftime show T-shirt.
That just happened to be on the top of the pile. Yeah.
I mean, I would like to hope that it's the only thing that you wear on Thanksgiving now moving forward. I would like to hope that you go pull it off the pile every year because that is the meaning of Thanksgiving, obviously. But yeah, look, man, there's nothing. I don't know what it means. What it means tonight, they're facing Jacob deGrom. They'll probably get no hit. Like, I'm just being honest.
Well, so the Rangers. We got Brandon Young going.
Right. We were so excited yesterday. We were like, oh, we got our ace going.
And now he had.
He's hurt too.
Yeah.
Because everybody's hurt. It's a fun thing they do. They're all hurt.
I can catch, by the way. Orioles just, hey.
Well,
probably
they got the guy.
Probably just as good as Gary Sanchez.
They're bringing up who is the guy they signed last week
Stallings?
that won a game. Apparently won a Gold Glove at some point. No one has ever heard of him, and he won a Gold Glove at some point.
What teams was he on again?
I think he was
Rocky.
Was it Stallings? Is that his name?
Stallings.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob, right?
Jacob Stallings.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm asking for confirmation.
I said it 3 times. Yeah, Jacob.
No. You just kept saying like Jacob, and I'm like, wait, but is that correct?
No, yeah, I said you said who's the guy they brought up? I said
I
Stallings.
I know, and then I said Jacob,
and
right?
I said yes, Jacob Stallings.
I don't believe you said that.
I
think we're gonna check the tape, and you're gonna
put your
find
headphones
out.
on because I go right up on the mic. And
I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's the circumstance.
I don't project quite as much.
For some reason, today in my On This Day on Facebook,
it was a Rocky at some point.
I did know that.
Got that right.
Most
recently.
At some point, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, whatever, how long it would have been, it came up with a day that the show started with Ottenheimer and I having like an intense debate
about nothing.
About whether Kyrie Irving could be a fit in where would he have gone? Where
he
this
started
Brooklyn?
in Cleveland.
Right. Was this Brooklyn?
I think
Boston.
Boston.
Was he ever in Brooklyn?
Yeah, he was definitely
with Durant, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I think we were
so
having
he went
this
from
like
Boston to Brooklyn,
intense debate about whether or not Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant could be a fit, and it was like we were getting into it, and I was like, I can't believe I ever cared about this. I can't believe this is something.
Well, you used to be a sports fan, so
yeah. I think I used to like pretend that I knew what I was talking about. And we were like going at it about it. This is what Kyle would do. Kyle would always try to push my butt. Whenever he could sense that he had me on the ropes.
I mean, what do you think? How do you think Dorian Finney-Smith is going to fit in Houston?
I've
with
lots
Kevin
of
Durant. How's he going to fit with Kevin Durant?
Lots of thoughts about that. I actually know where he came from. Dorian Finney-Smith was a Laker.
Yeah, that's right. And we definitely knew that before yesterday.
I actually did.
Oh.
You're not going to believe this. I knew that.
You know what? I'll out myself. I didn't know that.
There was a point last year where I was confused between Dorian Finney-Smith and Trace Jackson Davis. Both 3-name guys.
Yeah.
Both
TJD,
played in the Big Ten.
DFS.
Right? Like,
yeah.
So both were in the Western Conference. One was with the Lakers, the other was with the Warriors. And I legitimately, I don't know why, but I went out of my way to remind myself of that a couple times during the year, that they weren't the same guy, they were on different teams. Why are we talking about this? Right, the Kyle thing, that's what I was talking about.
Jacob Stallings, yeah.
Jacob Stallings, I guess, is coming up. The moral of all this is the Orioles win a baseball
I'll take
game.
a Gold Glover behind the plate from compared to what we've been watching.
Sure.
I guess Gary Sanchez should be a full-time DH.
Catching the ball would be good. I'm not opposed to that. Yes, the Orioles win the game 10-6, just like we all saw when they went 7 innings without scoring a run. When they went from they couldn't score, you were like, oh, I bet they're going to score 10 tonight. I bet that's going to be the case. I don't know that it's goofy because it's the...
Dorian Finney-Smith was not a Big Ten guy.
Then who am I thinking? Dorian
I don't know.
Finney-Smith didn't go to Wisconsin.
He went to Virginia.
He wasn't.
No.
He was never at Wisconsin.
You're thinking of Jianni Davis.
Am I thinking of Jianni Davis?
Well, he went to Wisconsin. I mean, he went to...
Maybe I'm thinking of
Frank
Maybe
Kaminsky.
you know what I might be doing? Finney sounds like Finley. Michael Finley went to Wisconsin. That might be where I made Dorian Finney-Smith a Wisconsin.
He went to Virginia Tech and then Florida.
Virginia Tech. I did know Virginia Tech.
Did he play for Buzz?
No, whatever.
What
Why
years
are we
was
doing this? What is happening here? All right, stop it. Stop it. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a thrilling Orioles win.
He was pre-Buzz.
Thank you. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Dorian-
My God, the Orioles won.
Dorian
Shut up.
Finney-Smith did not play for Buzz.
Shut up. You're as bad as Ottenheimer. Shut up. God. lot of shout outs for last night.
He played for Seth Greenberg. Yeah.
Great.
He got him.
Hey,
He got him
really-
fired. He got him fired.
Also,
actually.
it's already hot in here again.
Yeah.
We got to do something about that. I guess we figured out that it isn't related to the issues we were having on video, but this might just be an issue for me. Like, at this point, we might just make some decisions based on old GC. So, yeah, shout out. Trevor Rogers started brilliantly, slowed down a little bit, gave up the bomb to Marcus Semien, but still, deserves a modicum of credit for pitching well for 5 1/3. Shame that couldn't keep going. Shame he got into some trouble there. Brian Baker, the balls on that guy. Phew. Going up against Josh Smith, the one guy in the Rangers lineup that can hit. And everybody on the planet, including Jim Palmer, thinking like, don't
This
really
isn't gonna
throw
end
any
well.
strikes. Just don't throw strikes. You got a base open. Just throw no strikes and face the next guy. All good. And we were all thinking it. We were all thinking about it. We were like, this might be a good spot to not face this dude. And instead, the ball's on Brian Baker. So, yeah, that was cool. And then Felix Bautista, runner on third base, 1 out. Because, again, the Orioles
that was the winning run. Yeah,
can't keep anybody on a base. You get a runner on, that runner's probably scoring.
I just don't understand how they don't practice holding runners.
I would assume they practice. I don't know.
It doesn't look like it, does it? I mean,
I understand that. I just don't think they're good.
The Rangers know something because the Rangers, if it's the 7th inning or later, and the Rangers get a guy on base, he is automatically a third. He could have no stolen bases in his career.
I understand.
Just balk him to third.
I understand.
That would have been better. Hellman probably doesn't score if they balk him to third.
I agree. Now, more of all this is Felix Bautista comes through in a big spot, delivers big time, and then a lot of guys come through in extra innings. Of course, Gunnar Henderson and Colton Cowser. And to me, the heartbreak was how badly I wanted to make Luis Vazquez man of the match. Because it's just like that
game-winning hit.
Like, it's that thing where you say to yourself, there's never going to be another time to make Luis Vazquez man of the match. We thought he was a pitcher. At this point, there's an argument he's the best two-way player in baseball. My God.
Well, that other guy started throwing again. So.
Yeah, but Luis Vazquez, I don't think has given up a hit yet, has he?
Yeah. What do you want? Two up at three up, 3 down innings.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
I think so. So is that guy better?
Maybe he can catch too.
Yeah, maybe. But ultimately, Ramon Laureano's man of the match, and Ramon Laureano. Look, the Gunnar part was difficult because the potential future value of Gunnar Henderson coming to life. Again, nothing's predictive, so I can't assume that was the moment that Gunnar Henderson becomes a power hitter again. But that was huge. Potential.
Vazquez has given up 3 hits, by the way. 3 hits in 3 innings.
But he hasn't given up a run.
Correct.
Yeah. Has Shohei Ohtani given up a run?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
In his first outing.
Yeah. So who's the better pitcher?
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Nope. One of them is not giving up a run. Look at their ERAs, Griffin.
I mean,
tell me who's got the better ERA.
I mean,
tell me who's got it.
But that's not necessarily predictive.
Who's got the better ERA, Griffin?
You know, I've had a 0 ERA at points in my career.
Who's got in the major leagues?
Not in the major leagues, but
think so.
you know, at whatever
Luis
level I happen
Vasquez
to be playing.
His career
doesn't mean I'm a good pitcher.
I don't know about his career ERA because he might have pitched somewhere else. His ERA this season.
In Major League Baseball, he's never pitched. These are his first 3 career innings.
By the way, this is just the start, just scratching the surface. He's still adjusting to Major League hitting, and he hasn't given up a run yet. Best two-way player in baseball.
Yeah, but when the league adjusts, it's...
Yeah, well, we'll deal with that then. Right now. Just shut up. I'm just trying to be a negative guy. Orioles win. Ramon Laureano's man of the match. Man of the match is brought to you today by Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, Frederick, and Columbia. Men reclaim their game at Game Day Men's Health. I've been on peptide treatments for a few weeks now. It has been... I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just don't feel as sore as I typically did when I wake up in the morning. I can just get out of bed without going through the whole production. If you're not my age, if you're younger than me, you've probably heard, like, your dad do this at some point in his life. Like, it's just... The process sucks. And that was the first thing I noticed that was generally improving for me. And my reaction time playing Sunday Night Tennis, it's all been, I've been really happy. And it's not just for sluggishness. Perhaps you're dealing with other issues that men deal with as they get a little bit older. Stubborn belly fat that won't come off, or, you know, bedroom performance, or you might be low T. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com right now and sign up for a complimentary testosterone test. And while you're at it, consider giving them a call. Consider just checking in and saying, hey, I got some questions. I don't know if this is right for me, but can I talk to you? Game Day Men's Health, Owings Mills, 443-264-4454. Columbia, 443-266-3505. Frederick, 240-931-3717. These are not things that we typically like to talk about with our friends. We need a safe space for this. Game Day Men's Health is that safe space. Bully, exciting. We want to clown on Adolis Garcia because he pimped a home run. Clown on him. I love emotion in baseball. It goes that way sometimes. Sometimes you hit a massive... Dude, imagine...
Gunnar pimped his too. And then
imagine doing that and not being excited. Like, I get it. They all ended up losing the game. But in the moment, that was bonkers. I love it. I mean, I didn't love it right then because the Orioles blew a 3-run lead. But in general, I love it. He didn't know that they were going to lose. They lost. It happens. But you're not going to get me to be mad at Adolis Garcia for celebrating a massive, massive home run in a massive spot.
Who was getting mad at him?
It's not mad as much as, like, you want to dunk on a guy. Because, like, there's a lot of that. Imagine doing this and losing. Like, right.
Well,
I mean,
teams lose, 60,
imagine
70.
hitting a buzzer-beating 3 to tie a game.
And doing a choke sign. And then...
Well, it wasn't it was a tie. And,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. If the Pacers had lost that game, undoubtedly,
it would have been.
The internet would have been all over Tyrese Halliburton, undoubtedly. But my God, man, like, it's a massive shot in a massive spot. Imagine if they had been down 3 and he hit a 3. Like, that's wonky because there was confusion about the shot.
Yeah.
But, like, imagine if they were down 3, he hits a game-tying 3 after they had been down. Like, it's big. Imagine having no emotion about it. I ain't joining you on that. Like, there's irony in they lost the game, but I'm not clowning the dude for celebrating a massive moment and an incredible accomplishment that the majority of us could only dream of ever happening. So I will not be joining you on that. Good for Adolis Garcia, better for the Orioles because they won the game. As I say, right now, everything happens in a bubble with the Orioles. Last night, they showed moxie. They showed the type of spirit that we have from a team that doesn't have a single walk-off win this season. We don't associate the Orioles with moxie. We associate the Orioles of the past. We associate the 2022 and 2023 Orioles with that type of moxie and chutzpah and never give up attitude, but not the 2025 Orioles. So it was nice to see a game that they absolutely appeared as though they were going to lose in the late innings. Multiple times it appeared as though they were going to lose that game. They figured out a way. They just kept the game alive and figured out a way to win. And when they faced adversity, they dealt with it. It's awesome. But to the moment, nothing that has happened in any Orioles game this season has meant anything for what might happen in the next Orioles game this season. There has been no momentum. There has been nothing that would tell you. And to be fair, even when it's gone sideways, they've had a tendency to then deliver a performance that you don't expect, like rallying from 6-0 down. Everything is happening. It's like a series of one-game seasons that's occurring for the Baltimore Orioles. You would love to point. How many times have you hoped to point to something as like a turning point? This could be the one that turns the season around.
Every win.
Yes. So do I think last night was the one? No, because none of the other ones were. But we'll see. We always joke about, your momentum is as good as your next day starting pitcher. Well, again, you're Madam Webb. You're throwing out Brandon Young to face Jacob deGrom tonight. And I know we said last week that it was kind of
it was the exact matchup last week.
We were like maybe it's going to be reverse Locky. Nope, not at all. It went exactly the way that you expected it to go. So I don't know, man. I have no idea what to expect moving forward. But the best argument I could give is you had to win that game last night to have any hope at winning the series. Because with deGrom and Eovaldi on the mound the next two nights, it's very difficult to imagine you're winning both of those games. I don't have a lot of confidence they're winning either one, but they certainly weren't winning both. So they got the one they absolutely had to have. Now they got to figure out a way to steal one if they want to win a series and, again, build any momentum off of winning a series over the Rays. Do I expect it to happen? Frankly, I can't say that I do. But it's baseball. You hope for the best. I didn't expect them to win the series against the Rays. I hope that they can build some amount of momentum, and we'll see where it goes from there. As we pointed out, Charlie Morton thing, of course. Why not? And particularly for a team that's already limited, they'll go into tonight. I guess the two long men will be Bluette and Bowman, who are both available. And then who else didn't pitch last night? Was it Soto that didn't pitch?
Yeah, but that'd be all right if he doesn't pitch again.
I understand that, but somebody's got to pitch. And obviously they would have they will almost certainly send Brandon Young back down after tonight. So
yeah, because they got 2 off days in the next.
Yeah,
5
they do
days.
not need a fifth starter as Griffin and I did the math. They won't need a fifth starter until the weekend before the All-Star break.
Correct.
And presumably that will be Povich. I don't know the math on when they would have to activate Povich. But presumably, Cade Povich will start that weekend before the All-Star break, provided nothing else goes wrong between now and then. And it's not something that we can assume, unfortunately. And they will put Chadwick Tromp on the IL, and obviously they will almost certainly activate Jacob Stallings to take his spot. So that's what they got. The Morton thing, they say he should be available to pitch this weekend. So hopefully that's the case. And hopefully Ramon Laureano continues to be a stud. And hopefully they somehow figure out some sort of way to do any sort of damage about Jacob deGrom. There you go.
I bet it's Jacob Stallings, but he does something tonight.
You think Jacob Stallings is going to be the hero?
Yeah, I
you
think so.
This is going to be
so.
his night?
Why wouldn't it be?
It's Jacob Stallings' night. Because it's Jacob deGrom would be the reason.
Yeah, but he's going to say, I'm the real Jacob.
You're saying this is a battle for the
Jacob supremacy, yeah.
That didn't go so well in the Zach supremacy battle over the weekend. That one did not go well.
Well, he just wasn't the better Zach, I guess.
100% he was not the better Zach. There's no doubt about that. All right, coming up in a little bit later on, our buddy Eric Arditti will join us. We'll talk something about the Orioles, but we're really going to talk. He and I need to embrace debate. #embrace debate. We're doing the Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith thing. he is opposed to eighth inning sing-alongs, and he's a stupid idiot. So we're going to talk. Yeah, well, he is. He's a stupid idiot who is just a negative Nancy, and we're not going to have that around these parts. So we'll let Eric have it over that opinion. Also, later on in the program, Evan Brown is going to join us. Evan Brown played golf at Loyola and played on the PGA Tour this week at the Rocket Classic. So we're going to talk to him about that experience later on in the program. But first up on the hotline today, this is really cool. I've known this guy's dad for a very long time, dating back to when I was in college. And now he is going to follow in his father's footsteps, as yesterday he announced that he is committed to play football at the University of Maryland. He is an edge prospect out of Bishop McNamara, the son of the great Vernon Davis. He is Jianni Davis, and he is with us this morning now on GCR. Jianni, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us, and congratulations on your commitment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. Thank you.
Hey, man, it's great to meet you. Jianni, can you take me through, did you always know that you wanted to play football at Maryland, either because of your dad or just from, growing up here, or was that a lot of guys will be like, I want to do something different. I want to carve my own path. I want to go somewhere else. Did you have the thought that, maybe I'd like to be somewhere else?
I mean, yeah, it did cross my mind, but it's my dad, great tight end. He did good things in Maryland, had a long career in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if I do what I need to do at any school, it doesn't matter what school I go to, as long as I do what I need to do, and I could just make a name for myself. So I feel like even though me going to Maryland, my dad might, have some effects, but I feel like as long as I just do what I need to do, I'll just be good wherever I go.
I appreciate that, man. I know how close your dad is with Mike Loxley, right? How important was that relationship in this process for you? How long have you known Coach Loxley, and how significant was that for you in making the decision to come to Maryland?
I know Coach Loxley since I started high school, so cause I really wasn't in tune with football. I didn't start playing football until 8th grade. So
okay.
I really didn't know that much about colleges and what's the big colleges, conferences, and stuff like that until I really got to high school. So, I started talking to Coach Loxley more around when I first started high school, and then the relationship with him and my father is just that's just a plus to me going to the school. It's not really a big deal, but it definitely helps the recruitment.
So
and going to the school. So
Jianni, were you a basketball player then, and then moved over to football?
No, I didn't do anything really. I had a little break.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I was I played football. I played football in 4th grade, but then I stopped. I was playing contact football in 4th grade, but I stopped because I didn't really like it that much, and I was young, so I was still trying out other stuff. But then and then after 4th grade, I didn't play anything.
What brought you back to football?
I was just I just want to give it another try. I'm not really doing anything. I don't want to sit in the house, be bored all day. So, I gave it another try 8th grade, and I started to like it. Started to have a love for the game, and it's just up from there. So,
man, that's cool. That's really cool that it worked out that way. Jianni Davis is with us here on GCR from Bishop McNamara. Jianni, the playing on the other side of the ball, right? And being an edge. Where did that come from? How did you end up lining up over there? Obviously, as you point out, we all associate your father as one of the most unique offensive weapons of all time. What made you interested in lining up on the other side of the ball?
Man, I won't lie to you. I didn't pick the position. When I first started playing, my coach Marvin, he's at the Mountain right now though. When I started playing Little League, he's like, yeah, nah, you're gonna be a tight end. We're gonna put you at defensive end as well. So I really just been playing that since I started playing football. So I just stuck with it.
Was there anything about it?
It was really all right.
Was there anything about it that you loved? Once you started doing it, was there anything about uniquely getting after quarterbacks, did you find yourself saying, oh yeah, this is for me?
Yeah, no, I definitely love chasing the quarterback, coming from the opposite side of the field, tackling the quarterback, making plays. I love getting behind the line, making them miss they blocks so the coach could yell at them. I love getting in their face, pushing them back into the quarterback. It's great. I love it.
I dig that, man. Jianni Davis with us here on GCR. Gianni, the other part of it that stands out to me, I'm sure you're aware, your father is like the workout freak, right? Like, one of the most freakish athletes of all time. I'm pretty sure his name is still all over the weight room at the University of Maryland because he owned all sorts of records. Do you have any chance of taking down any of your father's weight room records, or is that maybe going to be safe?
That's the plan. That's the plan, to do more than what he did. So
I love it.
That's what I'm going to try to go in there and do and achieve more than what he achieved and just be the best person I could be, best player.
I love that, man. Gianni, what's like growing up, what was it, maybe just watching him or that he told you at some point? Like, what's maybe something that you got from him that has helped shape you into the football player that you're becoming at this point?
I mean, my dad never really forced me to, play sports or anything. He was just kind of you just do whatever you want, like you're your own person. But he definitely has played a big role on me playing football and just being an athlete because, I watch him every day. I used to go to football games, watch him at training camp. It was inspiring because, he did this. So I feel like I could do that too. So, he kind of just played a big role on that, in that part of me wanting to play football and just be an athlete and just do something I love. So, and then it ran in the family. So, I mean, why not continue it?
No, I dig that, man. What about the Maryland part of it? Like, what was his reaction when Maryland first started getting involved? And, I saw he threw something up on Instagram yesterday. I know he was pretty excited, but, like, what was it like when you told him, hey, man, that's where I'm going to be?
Yeah, he never really – he just kind of sat back on that part where it's like, yeah, if you want to go here, go there. It's like, I don't care where you go as long as you just do what you need to do. But when I told him, he was definitely excited. He was like, let's go, man. Let's go. We about to be great. Let's go, man. I was like, yeah, I can't wait.
That's
and then
cool.
he was just excited. He was just proud of me, coming this far on my own, like trying to make a name for myself. So.
That's cool, man. That's a really cool moment that you got to share with him. What about the local side of it, right? Just being a kid who's from here. And we've seen more and more of this in recent years. Obviously, Malik Washington right now, who I think a lot of people would have never expected would have ended up at the University of Maryland. As a local guy, what does it mean to you to be going to the University of Maryland, and how important is it for you to try to preach to other local kids like, hey, you should come join us here?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I'm from here, I was born and raised here. My whole family lives here. I'm close to home. So it's definitely great that I'm still close to home. I'm not even 30 minutes away from home, so I'm right there. And I just probably, encourage other kids to come here too. That's locally, like that's from this area as well. Because like, I feel like if everybody in the DMV went to Maryland, I feel like Maryland would definitely, we could win back-to-back championships. Everybody from Maryland went to the University of Maryland. So I feel like, the best are in Maryland. So, yeah.
We all know you're right about the talent here. Like, we all know that's true. Like, there is no doubt. All of the talent is here. It's just not worked out that way over the years. What are you excited about? Like, just what you believe you can do at the University of Maryland. Why are you so excited that you wanted to go ahead and make the commitment now and let everybody know that's the place you wanted to be?
I mean, to be honest, it was really my official visit. Like, I got the offer. I was like, oh, wow. I couldn't believe I got the offer when I first got it. But then, I went on that official visit. They just treat me like family. So it's like, I felt like I was already a part of the team. And it was like, dang, like, I could get used to this. Like, I could go here. Like, I see myself going here. So, the coaching staff played a big part in that. The players as well. My host, Neo, he played a good part in that as well, So I just felt like I could just see myself going to Maryland. So.
Why wait? I dig that, man. I dig that. Now,
yeah,
what is it?
What
should Maryland fans know about Jianni Davis, right? Like, and you know that everybody's interested because you're your father's son. But as you carve your path out, and you are your own man. What should Maryland fans know about you and what you're bringing to the table when you show up in College Park here in a couple years?
That I'm hard working. It might be some haters on the outside. I block out the noise. I'm just focused on. I have one goal right now. That's to reach the NFL. So that's really one goal I'm keen on. But you gotta focus on the right now to get to the future. So I'm really just goal oriented and I'm hard working. I just do whatever I need to do to get to where I'm going. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. We love everything about that. I know that your dad was playing in the NFL. Did you go to Maryland games when you were younger at all? Like, were you ever there, or like how?
Nah, I wasn't even born when he was.
I know, obviously, when he was playing, right? But like growing up, did you guys ever go to games at all?
Maryland games?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't really start going to the Maryland games until maybe a couple years ago.
When they started recruiting you?
Yeah, I went to a game. I went to a game before they started recruiting me, but it was just like I only went to like 1 or 2 games before they started recruiting me.
Wow.
But then after that, I started going to more.
And now, look at how that all turned out, right? So look at what that led to, and the way that that's going to go. All right, Jianni Davis, the son, of course, of Vernon Davis, and now he's his own man. He is the recruit and a commit now, headed to the University of Maryland in the class of 2026. Jianni, really excited for you, for your entire family, and can't wait to see what it is that you're going to bring to the table as you create your own legacy now here at Maryland. Congratulations. How can Maryland fans be giving you a follow? Where are you at on social media, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that?
On Instagram is Gianni_D, and then on Twitter is Gianni __D. So it's 2 underscores on Twitter and 1 on Instagram.
Give him a follow there. And there's no chance – you mentioned that like when you first started you were playing a little bit of tight. There's no chance we see you line up on the offensive side of the ball at any point, is there?
I don't know. Coach Locke got a little package for me, a little H-back package. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, y'all might see me in there.
Bro, that would be utter fire.
Yeah, little H-back pop pass, and I'm right there. I'll take it. I can turn a pop pass into a touchdown.
Oh, we like the sounds of that. Make it happen. Make it happen, Coach. Make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Jianni, congratulations, man. It's awesome the way this has worked out. Can't wait to see you in College Park next year. Enjoy your final season down at Bishop McNamara. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
That's Jianni Davis, son of Vernon Davis, and headed to play at the University of Maryland. Neat story. Really neat story about a legacy. And it's interesting, right? Like, it kind of wasn't necessarily in his blood. Like, he wasn't even playing football. He was just like, I'm doing my own thing. And then came back to the game and ended up at the University of Maryland. So we got Steve Blake's son at the University of Maryland. Vernon Davis' son at the University of Maryland. We were just talking to Juan Dixon about the idea of his son playing at the University of Maryland. We just need more great Maryland athletes to just keep having babies. That's what.
Just keep repopulating.
Correct. Eternally. Just keep. You might have seen yesterday as well that Austin Brown became Maryland basketball's first commit for the class of 2026 out of Texas. So as long as they're good, again.
Oh, you're saying you don't want them?
No. As long as they're good basketball players, I'm as I said before, you won't get me worked up about where they came from. But at some point, you would like to see some local inroads being made in terms of recruiting. You would like there to be a little bit more of a connection to Maryland. Now, I get it. Probably someone that Buzz Williams and his staff were recruiting before. It makes sense. Just you'd like to see a shift at some point towards some of the local kids. But in the meantime, may every single one of these kids that's coming from elsewhere be outstanding superstar basketball players. May that be the case. I did. There was one other. Oh, I saw. They're playing in that Vegas. The Maryland basketball team is playing in that Vegas tournament next year. The Players Festival, I believe it's called. And they announced the first. I guess the way it works is like you play 2 games, and then based on how you do in those 2 games, that determines who your third opponent is. I think is the way that it works. And they announce.
It's the one that they did last year, right?
It's like the NIL-driven tournament.
Right.
The one that everybody's worried is going to ruin the Maui Invitational.
I mean, it was some good games, but I don't know. Maui's Maui.
It's somehow part of our Thanksgiving week tradition.
If we've got college basketball at noon, we're watching it.
Yeah, but they weren't playing at noon in Maui because that would be 7 a.m. Maui time. They were playing at like 2.
Oh, you're right there.
Yeah.
What I meant was if they're playing basketball at midnight.
Right.
That's what we're watching.
Maryland's going to play San Diego State and Gonzaga in the first 2 rounds of that Vegas tournament. So I can't pretend like I know a ton about San Diego State, but, Gonzaga.
What have they done?
Gonzaga. So it'll be a hell of a challenge for Buzz Williams in his first year at the University of Maryland. All right. Today's show is also brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. And every Monday, Stan the Fan Charles, Ross Grimsley, and typically Luke Jackson get together. Yesterday, it was their special guest was Shane Turner, the manager of the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. If you missed it, find it at facebook.com/PressBoxSports, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline, or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, Stan's show is brought to you by the Costas Inn and the all-new Costas Inn in Timonium. Check it out at the grandstand, right there at the racetrack. It's everything you love about the Costas Inn, with the only exception being they don't do steamed crabs at that location. You got to go over to the original Costas Inn for crabs, but they have all the other crab accoutrement. Crab cakes, everything else they do, crab soup, crab pretzels with crab jalapeno poppers that I love. You can get all those at the all-new Costas Inn. Eric Arditti, got some stuff we got to deal with him. He'll join us next. Glenn Clark Radio.
Driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from DriveEasyMD.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. There, you just saved money with Easy Pass, all without slowing or receiving a notice in the mail. Well done, thrifty driver, well done. Get your Easy Pass at DriveEasyMD.com.
Calling all athletes and families, don't miss Football versus Football, a free sports and wellness festival Saturday, July 19th from 10 to 6 at Baltimore Peninsula. Meet retired Ravens, other former NFL stars, and pro soccer players. Join youth sports clinics, get free health screenings, and enjoy food, music, and family fun. Powered by United Healthcare, presented by Sports Legacy Group, and supported by University of Maryland Orthopedics and 1-800-GAMBLER.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
Celebrate 60 years of America's favorite muscle car at Live Casino and win a new Ford Mustang. Earn entries daily and enjoy revved up specials across our restaurants and bars all June. Cruise in Saturday, June 28th and be one of 25 players to win cool trips, hot prizes, or a new Ford Mustang. Hit the gas at Live Casino at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, we celebrate the first ever Baltimore basketball player to reach the Naismith Hall of Fame as we talk to those who knew Carmelo Anthony best about how his Baltimore upbringing shaped his legendary career. Also inside, Bo Smolka profiles Ravens second-round pick Mike Green, and find our annual summer travel section with information on some of the best sporting events and activities in Maryland that your family can check out all summer long. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy. when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, Talking Sports.
Hey, congratulations. We're having a Loyola guy on later, and Evan Brown. Congratulations to Loyola, sort of Loyolas. I know he ended up elsewhere. Cam Spencer, who got a fully guaranteed 2-year deal from the Grizzlies yesterday, as the story of the Spencers continues. Yeah, Santiago.
He got a lot of money.
He did quite well. Now, I mean, I get it. He's a big part of what they do. But yeah, the Loyola to Memphis connection continues to be significant, as Santi Aldama got 3 years and $52.5 million. So, bully for those guys. Happy for them. Hasn't been it's been a weird. This is the weirdest start of NBA free agency I ever remember, because it's not really about big names. It's all about these smaller things. They're kind of trickling out over the course of time. It's not it's been a weird start to the NBA offseason. I guess is fine. I don't know. It's very weird. Very weird. This man, he is a hater. That's what he is. If it's fun, he doesn't want it. He wants us all to sit and just sit organized and be emotionless.
A lot of this sounds like you, to be honest.
And remain in our chairs at all times. And he wants there to be no joy in Mudville. He wants everyone, the Mighty Casey, to just strike out. That's what he wants. You know him from the Exit 52 podcast and Barstool as well. He's, I guess, still our friend, Eric Arditti, and he is with us this morning here on GCR. What's going on, man?
I took a bus with our friend, Barstool Banks, to New York City this weekend to watch darts.
Oh, did you really do that? Oh, that's kind of cool.
That
is kind of cool.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
will show you videos of organic songs being played and people having fun. It wasn't like a flashing on the big screen, hey, guys, everyone stand up at this certain time. We're all going to chant and hold hands and sing a song.
Now, wait a second.
It was organic and very, very fun. That's what I like.
Right. No,
I'm being told, hey, guys, everyone stand up, and we're going to do the Macarena at the bottom of the eighth.
No, that's cool. Wait a second. Is that an option?
Why wouldn't it be?
I'm listening.
We could pick that one. I'd be down for that.
That sounds great to me. I have thoughts about darts, but I'm going to save them because I know you're a busy man with many important meetings to make this morning. So if you don't know the background, last week the Baltimore Banner did a story about the changes that might be coming to the game day experience and have already started to come. And we had Mark Fine, Orioles CMO, on the program, and he brought up the idea because I guess I have to confirm that would you also be willing to fight someone if they attempted to tinker with the 7th inning stretch?
Fight someone? No, I would not. I would not blink. I mean, I like the 7th inning stretch stuff. I like Thank God I'm a Country Boy. I don't like that they've shortened it recently, but I feel like it's just getting shorter and shorter. But
I agree with that part of it. And that's what I'm saying is if they got rid of Thank God I'm a Country Boy, I would start a mob. I would start. This would be the darkest moment for me. That's how much that song means to me, and how much the memories of that song mean to me. If they changed it, it would seriously impact me. So
I can see that. It's almost like it's like the Bo thing a couple years ago, and everyone got very upset about that. I can see that.
I think it's far more emotional to me about that than that. Like far more emotional. It's just that song is what I associate with good times in my life and joy. And so don't F with it. So anyway, I bring it up, and he says, well, what we are thinking about is maybe an 8th inning sing-along. And I acknowledge that right now is the wrong time to suggest anything because the team isn't very good. And when the team's not very good, we all say, just maybe worry about the team, right? I understand, 100%. That the priority should be trying to win. But I'm befuddled by the negativity towards the concept of an 8th inning sing-along. I don't understand that. Present your argument so that I then might disembowel you afterwards.
Because we're doing it 10 minutes before too. We don't need one every inning.
Well,
I think the 7th inning stretch is a perfectly fine thing to do. And thank God I'm a country boy. I'm with you. I have heard that song hundreds, if not thousands of times while clapping and chanting and cheering. And that's it. That's kind of it. I think that's, you don't need this 8th inning roll call. Like hey, we got to rally the troops.
Whoa. Don't you try to compare this to a roll call. Don't you attempt to mesh these two things together. I see exactly what you just did there. The roll call can burn in hell.
No, not that.
All
I
right?
didn't think of that.
I saw what you just did there. You're trying to make the two things the same thing. Jerk. Try again.
No, but again, like we're doing it in the 7th inning. That's fine. I think that should be it. I just I'm with you. I think if they read the room, I don't think people will really go for it. I don't think it's needed. I think if they need the fans to get pumped up and excited, I think they'll find an organic way to do it. And I just don't think that is the big, this is what we need to be doing to think that there's a boardroom of people sitting there just scratching their heads well, what about Mambo number 5?
What about Mambo number 5? You just keep tossing. He just keeps tossing out good ideas. Imagine thinking that's a bad idea.
Mambo number 5 in the 5th inning.
All right.
So what's our 8th inning song?
God, what is wrong with you? Trying to make these things sound like they're bad ideas.
It's not needed. You're
using the word needed.
I think if something happened organically.
I don't think it's about needed. And this is the other part that you and I ended up coming to blows about. And it's good that we weren't in the same room because I would have murdered you. But the idea, you keep using the word organic, and I promise you, I'm in favor of organic. I am confused as to why we didn't do more with the cow pasture last year. I don't get it. I would never sit in the bird bath. It's not until my kids force me to at some point in my life. The idea of having wet underpants and walking around with them is hell. I don't want to do it, but I love that it exists. I love that, right? I'm all for things that are organic, but things have to start somewhere. It's not, and I'm not to the point, if they just announce today, we're going to play Mambo number 5 in the 8th inning, and the crowd says, yeah, we don't care, then I would like to hope that they're not going to do that again the next night. That they're going to say, well, that's not the way that it works. But if they play different songs, and for some reason one of them, and I have a suggestion, if for some reason one of them elicits a bit of a response, how is that a bad thing?
Well, so that's the thing. Again, it was the whole, hey, here's what we're thinking of doing. It's not like when Gunnar Henderson chose Sweet Escape, it's not like the Orioles were like, hey, guys, everyone
sing along,
circle up, listen up. Here's what we're going to do. Gunnar is going to have this as his walk-up song, and everyone in the crowd is going to chant and put their hands up and do, the Gwen Stefani and Akon, woohoo, wee-hoo. That's not how it happened. Same thing with Corbin Burns, the Friends in Low Places last year. They weren't like, hey, guys, please be in your seat. When Corbin is going to warm up before the first, we're going to play, Friends in Low Places, and we need you to sing along. It just happened, and people started singing it.
I don't think that's what they're saying. I don't think they're dictating it to you as much as they are considering how it will work.
I'm sure that they would be like, "Hey, everyone, get to your seat in the 8th. We need you to be seated."
I don't get that sense. That's not the sense that I get from this, and nor from the story they wrote in the banner, where it just more seems like we're trying a bunch of things and seeing what resonates and seeing what doesn't resonate. And I just can't imagine being negative towards that. Some stuff will work, some stuff won't. Griffin and I have an opinion that I think is unpopular. I don't think the live hot dog races work. I think they're actually a step back from what I think when they put that thing up on the screen, we were losing our mind. And we loved all the silly hijinks. And then we watch it live and we're sort of like, yeah, it's just the thing. It's what they're doing. And I think they're going to keep doing it, but I don't think it's working the way that they think that it's working.
I'm with you there. I liked it when they did it what was it, every 2 or 3 weeks?
Exactly
in a home game? That was fine.
Yes.
Yeah. I was okay with that. Do something like that. But yeah, doing it every game is oh, okay, now it's kind of just there. Because again, I remember when it came out and they were like, here are the games we're doing it. My daughter was like, oh, I want to go see it.
Yeah, we'll do a T-shirt giveaway and we'll do the whole thing. But yeah, I don't think doing it every game makes sense. I think that we like looking up at the screen, and I think you got a greater reaction from how obvious it was that the one that you were rooting for was going to fall on his face right before. I think that it worked that way. And I'm okay with tinker. I think tinkering can be good as long as you're not taking away the things that we enjoy, right? If you're experimenting and saying, let's see how it works. Now you accidentally came up with the exact song. You've got it. If you guys missed it last night, Eric, Griffin's wearing a Scott Stapp t-shirt today. Eric shared out the video of Gunnar Henderson belting out Bleeding Love in the car when he was traveling along with Adley Rutschman. And I thought, yes! That's it! Something that resonates with the players. Why can't that be the song? That song is a jam and a half.
Yeah, but that's not a pump you up, get you ready. I know, like we talked about on Twitter, you mentioned the Rock the Red. You know, that was the Caps kind of calling card. You know, we've had Buckle Up and all that stuff. Bleeding Love, again, don't get me wrong, it is a great song. It was probably played on the party bus this weekend at the bachelor party. But that's not the song.
Wait, the darts trip was a bachelor party?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Was it ever?
That's
it was
so great.
It was a great time.
That's so great.
But again, I don't know. It feels very Nationals to me. Like, here's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna make it ours.
Again,
it's like
if that's what they were dictating, if they were announcing this is what we're doing, end all be, then I would listen to that. But I think the idea of let's see, let's try, let's figure out. I think some of these things can happen naturally, right? Like when Jose Iglesias was a Met and he had that song that just happened to be a bop, like it just really was. Like, go figure.
Could have done that here. Why did
I know, right? Seriously, what the hell? Although, was he here this season? There were no fans. What year was Jose Iglesias?
Yeah, it was the COVID. It was the COVID year.
So it probably wouldn't have worked the same way. But I'm all for. As I said when I wrote my column, if for whatever reason the Orioles go on like a 12-game win streak and they're all belting out Pink Pony Club in the clubhouse, then you've got your answer. That's the thing. I'm for organic.
That could be the answer because when they played it at Pride Night the other night, they were perfect game through 7 innings, but everybody was
belting it out,
song.
And then they got a hit.
And then they did get a hit. Yeah, you're right. I guess that it was either that inning or the inning after.
I mean, like I'm all for considering these things, but again, if just in moving forward every home game they play a different song in the 8th inning and see if the crowd happens to respond to one of them, then that to me is the same thing as organic. It's not. If they dictated this is what we're doing and you're gonna like it. If they planted that loser to do the roll call thing, then like that's a problem. But I don't think they did that. I think that was just some loser that decided that he was going to do that day because he wanted attention on social media because we live in that world. And in the same way, like it's clear they came into this year wanting to reconsider everything about the music that they played. And you can have opinions about that. But if they try different songs in the 8th inning, what's the problem with figuring out if the crowd happens to really like one?
No, I mean, again, I'm hearing both sides. I don't know that we have our Sweet Caroline. We have it. It's already happened. Like I don't know. I just don't see why adding another is like, here's what we're talking about Monday morning at 9 a.m. on the meeting.
There's more innings in a game. Like, why not have as many experiences as you can possibly have during the course of the game?
It's okay to let stuff breathe, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want Camden Yards to turn into like a carnival every night. Like,
okay.
I don't know. Because then again,
I don't know why we're going war on carnivals. Like, what the hell? What is there not to like about a carnival?
I like a carnival.
I'm going to go get a smoked turkey leg and I'm going to play like the basketball game that I can never make the shot. That sounds great. What's wrong with you?
You're going to get tired of it. You're going to get tired of it eventually.
I mean,
like, man, I kind of just want to chill.
But who goes to every game?
The one guy, Jeremy, goes.
Right. Okay, that guy. That's the one guy. But I think
that's who we need to talk to.
Like, this is a weird spot for me because I do think that there are baseball purists that are like, I just want it to be about the baseball. I think the understanding is you're trying to create your version of Disney World. Where, like, when people go, they have an experience that is memorable regardless of what happens on the field. And having touchstones, and I get it. Like, to me, it's thank God I'm a country boy. But I understand that it might be something else for someone else. I just can't imagine that being something that we'd react negatively towards. If, again, it works. If we don't like it, then we react to it. And we say, stop doing that. That's stupid. Like, this is nonsense. But the idea of, hey, we're considering it or exploring it? Come on, man. Like, you're just being a hater.
I hear you there. But, and again, I think maybe my tone would be different. I think a lot of other fans' tones would be different if they were 55-30 or, just cruising along like they were at this point last year. It's just, I don't know. I was like, this is not something that I think will work or I think they need right now. And I don't know. I kind of just let it fly. But I like I said, I hear your side of the story. I hear your angle. I'm not like, I don't get why people wouldn't like this. I 100% see why people
also,
I just don't
I
think
sincerely disagree with you about your take about bleeding. I don't think it needs to be like a we all want to go fight the commies type of song after the 8th inning. I think it's just about creating.
You don't want them to do the haka before the 8th?
Now, wait a second. I will never say no to doing the haka. Yeah.
You want to see Felix Bautista out there in the bullpen?
In my life, I will never. Dude, do you ever just spend time looking at Felix Bautista's shoulders? Do you ever just spend a moment like staring at how impossible he is?
He's built like a refrigerator. He's just
my God.
So
when he was coming off the mound last night, I don't know why, but I was just staring at his shoulders. Like
it's something about the camera angles in Texas.
Everything is weird about that. Every home run in Texas is hit 150 miles an hour. There's
7,000 feet.
Yeah, there's never been a cheapy home run that's ever been hit in that ballpark in Texas. I don't care if you present me evidence that there hasn't. There has never, ever, ever been a cheapy home run hit in that building. It's insane.
No, I agree.
It's a laser every time right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you? I do think Bleeding Love would work. I do. If the players were into it. If the players were into it and like you cut to them and they were singing along and they were like bopping their heads, then we would all be in and we would all belt it out and it would create that type of energy afterwards. Now I get it. It's not specifically I understand why you would argue for something more upbeat. I get that argument. But like hell, I guess in New York it works with Piano Man. That's not a traditionally like upbeat song. It's just a sing-along. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a sing-along. But also, you know what we all know what would happen if Gunner's singing the song in the 8th inning and he's 0 for 3. You're going to have Donnie from Dundalk being hey, how about you worry about
that guy.
At the plate?
I mean, seriously, F that. F everybody who was complaining about Mr. Splash spraying everyone last week. Like,
that was dumb.
F all of you. Like, I mean, what is wrong with you? Get a hold of yourselves.
As someone who is mad at something just to be mad right now, we can't be mad at every single thing like that. Like,
you got to pick.
That's just crazy.
You got to pick the important stuff, like playing a song, going War on Mambo No. 5. All right, you got to go back to work.
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes. Still wanted to chat.
Yeah,
talk about darts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me all about it.
Dude, darts was incredible. It was our buddy Barstool Banks'
Is there a tour? Is that like what? Is this like the? Is there like a PGA Tour of darts, or is this like an exhibition? Like what is it?
I think it's like a regular season match. Somebody was explaining it like it's not a major, but again, it's still like an important leg. So like they were in New York, and then they were going to I think they said Poland next, and then New Zealand, and then Australia. So yeah, it's like this worldwide kind of tour thing. But
so it's the same people. The one that we watch around the holiday. We don't watch it, but like we see it on social media around the holidays in Britain.
Mm-hmm.
That like is just the most badass looking thing you'll ever see. Is it the same guys that do that?
I think so. Again,
okay.
I'm not as into the darts as our whole other group was. Yeah. I am now, but like Saturday morning, I was learning everything I could about darts. And Saturday night, I was like pounding the chair, like, you got to hit this 12. Like, what are we doing? So but I'm telling you, it was a lot of fun.
Can you see the dart? Can you see the dartboard, or do you have to watch the screen?
I would kind of go back and forth. We were in like the kind of stadium seating, so we weren't down low. I mean,
okay.
that was the tables.
Where was it?
It was in Madison Square Garden.
Holy crap.
Same time that band Goose was there, but it was in the auxiliary.
In like the theater.
It was in like the 5,600 seats.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that. Okay.
But it was it was incredible, and every single person there was dressed up in costume. If you weren't in costume, you were a weirdo. Like we all did WWE and stuff.
Oh, that's tremendous. See, that's what I want. I want more of that at Orioles games. Why, like that? I want joy. I want silly. Dude, I last year suggested everybody wear scrubs when Corbin Burns started, and we call it the Burns unit. And people were like, oh, I don't know, it seems dumb. I'm like, shut up. Like, what is wrong with you? We all want an excuse to dress up and cosplay and act like idiots. God.
The burn unit. That's good.
It was good. Maybe I should have pitched it to you first instead of my radio partner who was like, I don't think that's going to work. Like, stop it.
I didn't feel like doing it.
It wasn't. I mean, you hated it. Rita hated it. Everybody hated it. I'm like, this is great. We're all. Who doesn't want to wear scrubs? They're very comfortable. Like, God.
Yeah, but then you sweat through them and everything is. Yeah, I mean, you're leaving nothing to the imagination.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. There's probably something to be said for that. But we could have made specific orange scrubs that maybe. God, I hate everybody. I hate everybody who doesn't feel joy. I hate everyone that feels no joy. Now, there's times I feel joy about things. I would have loved going to darts. I wouldn't. Okay. I mean, I don't know about the whole weekend in New York. That probably would have been a lot. But like.
Well, it wasn't a whole weekend. Again, we stayed in Philly, and we took a party bus up, and the party bus broke, and then we took a school bus into New York City.
Okay. Nice. Now, but that's a great story. That is kind of.
Yeah.
What else did you do for the Bachelor? Was it just the darts, or?
Yeah, like we got up there Friday night. Some of the other guys got there Friday afternoon. They played golf. We did cheesesteaks. We did a darts bar in Philly.
So it was really a whole darts. This really was a darts Bachelor party. That is wild.
If you love the darts, stand up. That was a chant that they were chanting. The people overseas are so much more creative than us.
Do they have songs for every darts thrower?
Every single dart thrower, yeah. Awesome. Like it was incredible. And again, like we would be sitting there. If it got too stagnant, the people behind you would start chanting, "If you love the darts, stand up. If you love the darts, stand up." And everybody would rise up. And it was like, all right, I can.
So
and
great.
I literally said, we could do this at Camden Yards. Yes. If you love the birds, stand up.
That's so great. That's so.
It was incredible.
Oh,
it
man,
was so much fun.
All right, you want to plug anything?
I guess it's the pod, Exit 52. Again, I read my stuff on Barstool. I had the blog this morning. I have no problem with Adolis Garcia celebrating. It's just a tough look when you lose. Yeah, it's a tough look.
But who cares? Come on, man. Like I can't get on a guy for that. Like, dude, that's a no. Imagine what that moment feels like. Imagine what it feels like to do that.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. You know, that's how I feel when I don't get out in softball. But again, it's just funny when you lose. Like you got a little egg on your face, and sometimes that happens. And we've had it with Ynier Cano, and you know it's all fun and games, and you're staring daggers through someone. But then when they hit the home run, it's like, oh, kind of stinks. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
but
I can't join anybody. I can't join anybody on that one. I also wish that I had like Orioles topics to talk about you with, but like my entire Orioles take is we'll see how the next game goes. Like that's the entirety.
Are they not? All right, hear me out. Hear me out. I was talking to Brendan Mortensen from Aston about this.
Yeah.
The Orioles are the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have never played a normal game.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They've never, every game is like 39 to like 20 to like, I don't know, like 20.
They're all scoregamis, right, yes.
And there was a drop kick scored, and there was a wacky, wild safety, and it was just the weirdest things on earth happen in Seahawks.
Yeah, an offensive lineman scored a touchdown. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, fat guy touchdown that was like 96 yards or something like that. That's just the Orioles now. They just play these weird games. Like rank the weird games in the last week. The no-hitter to back-to-back to losing.
Yes, to losing.
To the down 6-0, and then last night. That's all happened in like 6 days.
100%. And every time you think something might be an inflection point for the season, like every time you're like, this could be the moment where everything turns around. It does not. And then every time you convince yourself, well, this is rock bottom, they're just going to bottom out, that doesn't happen either. Like there is nothing matters past that game. There is nothing that this team has done that is at all predictive. Every time you think a player is, you're like, oh, this guy's red hot. It's not gonna stay that way. Every time you think a pitcher is garbage, they're your ace a week later. Like there's nothing at all predictive about anything that's happening with this team this season.
They've hit rock bottom like 9 times.
Yes.
And they've also had an incredible, this is the win of the year.
Yes.
Like 6 times.
Yep.
And then that's just a normal week in Baltimore.
And anything could happen the night after. Anything at all. Like if I had to guess,
from a no-hitter to Charlie Morton shoving.
If you ask me to predict, I think they get no hit by Jacob deGrom tonight. After what we would say is their best win of the year, but it wasn't really their best win of the year. It was just their most recent best win of the year.
This week, yeah.
Yes.
Like I said that wasn't even the most exciting game in the last 4 days.
Not at all. But yet it
not
was
even not even close.
Not remotely. Yes, Friday was the winner there. So yeah, I have no idea what to say about the Orioles. It's very difficult to try to talk about the baseball team because it's just watch the game, see what happens. At some point, we'll get to July 31st, and they'll make some moves, and then we'll go from there. I do maintain my take has been all along that I think they should hire a manager. They shouldn't wait for the end of the year. That remains my take. I think they should hire a manager. I have been successfully argued into wait until after the deadline to do that so that the guys that won't be a part of it moving forward are all gone. I'm like, okay, I can listen to that. Like, I don't think they're going to do it. I still think they're going to wait till the end of the year, but it's never made sense to me. We all are opposed to lame duck managers, but yet we're okay with the fact that they have a lame duck manager. I don't understand why we didn't want them to hire a manager quickly in this process.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I'm with you there. But have you heard our friend Jake Luke's take? Have you watched Tires?
Yes, I have watched Tires.
Jake thinks that Mansolino is Steve Gerben, like the boss, the GM.
Okay.
He's like they speak the same way, their mannerisms are the same way. He's like that's just Tony.
They're kind of doofuses, but it also kind of works out anyway. Like
they're like goofy and they're laughing at themselves, and they're just like they kind of seem like they're just along for the ride, and they're just giggling their way through. And which I'm not crapping on Tony. I like him a lot. It's just he almost has like a childish I like mannerisms about him. I don't know. It's very funny. So now every time he talks, I'm like, there he is.
I can see that. Yeah. I completely get that. All right.
Talk with him a little more about that. He'll go into depth about
All right.
that.
He's got a PowerPoint prepared. He's got a 10-step presentation.
We'll get that sent over.
We'll make that happen soon. All right, buddy. I love you. Stop being such a hater. Have some fun in your life. And this is Glenn Clark saying that.
Listen, it was hot. I was running on no sleep, and I was on withdrawal from the dark.
You
so
cut
if you love
me
the dark,
open, and I keep bleeding.
See, what about what? Okay, hear me out. Yeah. Hear me out. What's the I'll be your dream, I'll be your wish, I'll be your fantasy.
This, what is that? Savage Garden.
Savage
right?
Garden.
Yeah. Was it truly madly deeply?
That song was played. That song was played on the bus on the way back from dark.
And everybody was singing along to it?
Outside of Newark, New Jersey.
That's pretty great. That's pretty. I actually could. I don't know how to explain this. A bunch of us got together for my buddy's 40th birthday party. We rented a house at Deep Creek. It was like friends from high school, and we all got inebriated. And at some point, we all just for no reason whatsoever, it didn't come on like the shuffle. We just all started singing together an a cappella version of My Own Worst Enemy by Lit, and it was like the most beautiful moment that we've ever shared together. It was just like we talk about it every day since this thing happened, where we all just started singing this Lit song together for no reason whatsoever and all belted it out. And
now you're still chasing that high.
100. We will never feel anything quite like that. That was the moment.
Unless they do it at Camden Yards in the bottom of the 8th.
Why not? Why not? Would it work? Would the anthem by Good Charlotte work? Like that would be.
Shake it once, that's fine. Shake it twice, that's okay.
Shake it three times. You're playing with yourself.
Yeah, we can make that work.
I mean, I don't know if it has the same. I just don't know that it has the same sing-along quality as I was trying to replicate All the Small Things, which has worked really well in San Diego. That's become.
Yeah, but he's from there, isn't he? Isn't Tom from there?
Good Charlotte are massive Orioles fans.
Yeah, but Tom goes to the games. I haven't seen Benji, Joel, or Cameron.
When they're here, they always go to the games. Dude, the number of times
they don't hit me out. They don't text me.
That's part of the problem. They should reach out. I don't disagree. I think part of the problem is they moved to Australia. I really do think that's part of the issue.
Yeah.
And so they're just not here much anymore. Although I think I saw they're playing the York Fair or something like that. I'm like, God, is that what happened to Good Charlotte? God.
They just came out with a new song, I think. I saw them on TikTok.
And they were on American Idol this year. And I was like, right, we all love Good Charlotte. Who doesn't love them? So I was thinking about that because that would make some sense. Because I don't think I know that the old heads want it to be I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't. Nah, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put up with that. That's not gonna work. That's not
I'm
giving
2 thumbs down so hard right now.
I understand.
Can we do Bulletproof by LaRue?
Who?
Bulletproof.
I don't know what
that's a dark song.
That's what that is? Oh. Okay, I do like that song. I mean, I don't like it as much as what's the one EDM song that I always talk about how much I like?
Avicii, maybe?
No, the Cascade.
Sandstorm?
No, the Remedy.
Yeah.
You know that song.
Clarity.
Thank you. That's what it is. Clarity. Remedy. Zed. That's not Cascade. It's Zed, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Zed. I would go with that song. That song's a 10. I love that song. Yeah. All right. Enough. I love you, pal. We'll talk soon. Thanks.
I'm sending you videos of the darts. If you love the darts, stand up.
I really am jealous. I would love to go to darts at some point in my life.
We'll figure it out. They're coming back in 2026. They announced it at the tournament.
Are they going back to the same venue? Because
MSG.
You're anti-MSG?
I just it's a lot for me, the idea of going up to New York for a weekend anymore.
It was
it's a lot.
Again, especially as Goose was letting out. Do you know who Goose is?
It's all the jam band guy. They're all they look the exact same. Every single Goose fan looks exactly the same as every other Goose fan. They're all
it's all one song. And I will say this: the fans that we saw outside of MSG at 12:30 really. I don't know. They all had balloons, and they were really sucking on.
They are
whatever
very much on doing drugs. They're every single one of them.
Literally, a guy in front of Madison Square Garden with a backpack with a nitrous oxide tank in his backpack, filling up balloons and selling them right in front.
God bless New York. Actually, now that I think about it.
It's not a real place. Hey, it's not a real. I think that was all.
If you can, maybe Alicia Keys was right. It is the concrete jungle where dreams are.
There's
made.
literally nothing you can't do.
Yeah, what an amazing thing. All right, we could just keep going. If you don't, I thought I had to let you go. If you just want to have time, we could talk about other things. What else is going on in your world?
I don't know.
Can we get you on the Ravens bandwagon now that all of your former players are here? Can we do that?
No. That I can't do. I've had people ask me that, and I'm just like, I can't because first off, I would never. That's not what sports is about. I want to root for my guys.
I sort of agree with you on that, but I also never really understood how you originally became a Titans fan. So that is a weird one to me.
Mom is from Pittsburgh. Dad is from Long Island.
Right. So obviously
up,
Titans.
They were Steeler and Giant fans.
Right. So obviously Titans.
I get to be 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. I don't like their teams, but I don't like their rivals, which are the Redskins and the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 9 years old watching a football game. It happened to be the Music City Miracle. I'm like, I like those colors. I like that quarterback. I like that running back. My dad goes, Frank Wycheck, the tight end, went to Maryland, and I was sold. And then they won the game, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I understand that, but before the Ravens existed, I had this with the Kansas City Chiefs because I met Joe Montana at this is going to sound crazy. Cool. This is going to sound crazy. I was my mom's brother-in-law, my uncle, was stationed in Germany in the Air Force. When we were 10 years old, we went to this Air Force base. And maybe 9 years, I guess it was 9. Joe Montana was signing autographs for the military and their families. And I was like, well,
I'm family.
Little stolen valor never hurt anybody, right? So we go right to the front. And he was signing bottles of cologne. So my dad had to buy a bottle of Brut for him to sign. And so I had this experience with Joe Montana, and it made me a Joe Montana fan. So when he went to the Kansas City Chiefs, I was number one, Joe Montana, Marcus Allen, Kansas City Chiefs fan. You couldn't tell me nothing. But it was fake. It was contrived. I wasn't really a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I was just a guy that had an autographed Joe Montana cologne bottle. And so when Joe Montana wasn't there anymore, and when things moved on, it was easy for me to say right, I'm not actually a Chiefs fan, and there's a team here, so I'm going to root for them. That makes more sense. That's the issue that I have with to me it's always regional. When it's not regional, people get on me all the time why won't you be a Capitals fan? I'm like, because I don't live in D.C. I have no connection to D.C. whatsoever. I didn't. But when I moved to Arizona, I was there every night, and every night I was living and breathing the Suns and the Coyotes. But if there was a team here tomorrow, the Baltimore whatever existed, what was the name of that football team that you worked for? The Brigade. If the Baltimore Brigade became a hockey team in Baltimore, I'd be the biggest Baltimore Brigade fan there ever was. To me, that's the joy of sports is that it's regional.
No, that makes sense. But again, my mom growing up a Steeler fan, I knew I didn't like the Steelers, but I also didn't like the team that she hated either.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So,
I don't get
and my cousins are older than me, and they're all big sports fans. So, You know, they were like, you can't like that team, you can't. And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right.
To fit in. All right.
You know, something about that baby blue, that two-tone blue. You know,
wanted to fit in. That's all it was.
But also, like in 2003, you know, or whenever all the Titans players, you know, McNair and Roll and Derek Mason, whenever they leave the Titans and go to the Ravens, I'm not jumping. Like, are you kidding me? That's like the worst kind of fan, you know.
But it's the worst kind of fan when it's real. Like, this isn't all right. We could end up doing this for 6 hours. I don't really want to do it. When was the last time you camped out in a tent?
Never. I saw your tweets. I would never do that.
In your
life,
not
pay me to do
you've
that.
never done it in your life.
No. I mean, I've done like sleepaway camps and stuff where we did that, but like it was like, you know, 12 hours and I don't know, 10 hours in a tent or whatever. But I'm not like on a weekend being like, hey, we're packing up, we're going to
dumb
Yosemite and sleeping
idea.
in a tent.
It's a really bad idea. It's a really, really bad idea that we're doing for emotion. We're doing it for emotional reasons. So like we're gonna do it, but it's a really bad idea. You and I have never had. I don't think you and I have ever had the beach conversation. You know, I hate the beach, right?
Yeah, I can see. I mean, you're very Larry David-ish. Like, I get it.
The beach sucks. The beach wants to
see it, and that's it.
Correct. It's a beach. Great. The sun is trying to murder you. The sand is 1 billion degrees and is going to burn every inch of your body. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like everything that you do at the beach. There's a better place for doing it. When someone's like, "Well, yeah, but you can throw a frisbee around, right? You can throw a frisbee around in a field too. It's a better place for it." The
better place is called the pool.
Correct. The pool.
Swim in the ocean.
When you say you can swim in the ocean, right? You can also swim in the pool. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm so sure. Everything about the beach is better somewhere else. Everything. There's not one thing about the beach.
I like the beach. I'm perfectly fine with it, and I also completely understand anyone who's like, I despise it. I get it.
I like being in the beach town. I like being in the. I like going and playing putt-putt. I like the fact that my wife's going to take my kids for ice cream 6 times a day. I don't know why, but it's
eating 1 billion things of ice cream.
100%. I'm all for, like, I'll go get some grotto pizza at some point during the week. I don't even eat pizza, but like when I'm at the beach, I'll do it. I'm all for all that stuff. I love it, but like outside of that, like the beach itself stinks on ice.
You know what the best part of the beach is? The after beach shower. And
when you're trying to get all the sand out of your grundle,
all over you.
Correct.
And you can feel the sunburn on your skin, but that's a fantastic. It might be a top 5 shower of all
time. The first shower of a vacation where you take the beer in, to me, like that to me is always the go-to shower. Shower. Oh boy, if we power rank showers, what about shower after? You know how like you'll have like a 2-day stretch where you just couldn't shower or you didn't for whatever reason. Shower after 2 days without showering is very high on the list of showers.
Showering at 2-3 o'clock in the morning when you're on a school bus back from New York City and you had the smell of Newark, New Jersey air.
Oh,
that was a good one.
That's a good shower. Yeah. Whereas it's not a good shower. Shower with a partner. That's a terrible shower.
I was going to say a Jeremy Kahn.
Yeah.
Like Golden. I don't know. I don't know what I can.
Now wait a second. I guess I had to reconsider because those are fun. Like, you tell stories.
Yeah. The Jeremy massage shower.
Right. No, everybody. Like, remember you're a kid and you think that like having intercourse in a shower is like this whole like amazing moment, and then you do it for the first time. You're like, this sucks. Yeah.
It's been freezing for 5 minutes.
Right? Like there was never like this is awful. There's a bed somewhere. Let's just go there.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, shower. No, yeah. All right. Yeah. But beach shower, top 5.
I don't disagree. The beach shower is good. The beach sucks. All right. I love you. We'll be friends forever. But stop being a hater. Let's talk soon. All right, pal.
All right. We'll talk later.
That's Eric Arditti. God, that was a Jeremy segment.
More than that.
I mean, but it was there was no point to it.
Well,
we're just doing it. Do it.
We talked about the.
Well, I wanted to address it with that. He was being a hater, and now I understand the circumstances. He had no sleep. He was hopped up on darts. The whole thing. We just keep throwing out the word organic, like organic means something. Again, what I'm not in favor of is the Orioles making a declaration tomorrow and saying, starting now, moving forward, Although if they do make it Mambo number 5,
Mambo number 5, I'd be in favor. Bulletproof, I think, would be good.
I only mildly like Bulletproof. I don't.
Well, I don't because I feel like
it.
I've never heard it there. I feel like it'd be like kind
someone
of shocked.
suggested Unwritten.
I'd be like, whoa, this kind of rocks.
When Eric and I were talking again about it last night, when Eric shared out the Bleeding Love video, someone else, I think Sean Foy, suggested Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. But I believe the issue there is that Burnley has claimed it because they literally were singing. Did you see the?
The Bedingfield. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like I just think. It's not that you can't do something that someone else does. That's what I say about Seven Nation Army, right? Like, Seven Nation Army didn't start with the Ravens. It started...
Yeah, but...
Miami, maybe?
Now we do it the best, so...
Penn State might have been doing it before the Ravens were doing it. Like,
well, they don't do it anymore, do they?
It was, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a Penn State person. Oh, is that their thing? Oh, God. The one time... I dated a girl who went to Penn State. And I went to, they might have played Virginia maybe in a non-conference game early in the season.
Banger.
And I swear to God, the third time they did the We Are Penn State thing, I couldn't take it anymore. Now, understand.
I'm pretty sure they do it back from every quarter, don't they?
In order to get me into the Penn State game, she had to sign me up to be an usher. There's some system where if you agree to.
So was it whiteout? Were you at a whiteout or?
I don't think it was a whiteout. I also don't remember. We were doing a lot of drinking back then. And some trauma related to this experience with this young lady.
Yeah, they wouldn't waste a whiteout on Virginia.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that year they were playing Nebraska, and that was the big one that year. She kept saying, you're coming back for Nebraska, right? And I was like, I think I'm good.
And then you're like, go Big Red.
I went to one game, and I was like, I don't think I ever need to be at another one. The third time they did the We Are Penn State thing, I swear to God, oh, man, I can't believe I didn't get my ass kicked. But I definitely yelled out, "Thank you for letting me know I thought I was at Oregon." I got
good one
looks. I just.
Oh, it's Penn State.
Yeah, right.
God,
she was not.
What was
she was livid
about that.
Livid. I'm pretty sure that was the start of the downturn.
Was that you weren't?
Oh, she sent me a message. She sent me an email about how I need to understand how deeply she cares about Penn State. Straight up.
Well, then she's got to understand how deeply you care about the Suns. Nothing. I don't know what you care about.
At the time, I don't know. This would have been 2002. I guess I was still pretty hardcore Ravens at that, but she was too. So I don't know what I would
about UMBC club basketball.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. All right, we come back in. I do want to touch on yesterday. I forgot to mention the Dwayne Lucas had passed, so I want to just share a couple Dwayne Lucas stories that I have. We'll do that when we come back in. It is a Tuesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1970. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
This August, the PGA Tour's best are coming to Maryland. The 2025 BMW Championship tees off August 12th through 17th at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills. See the top 50 players battle it out in the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Don't miss your chance to witness world-class golf, fan experiences, and unforgettable moments. Tickets are on sale now at BMWChampionship.com. The BMW Championship, where legends take the lead.
Celebrate 60 years of America's favorite muscle car at Live Casino and win a new Ford Mustang. Earn entries daily and enjoy revved-up specials across our restaurants and bars all June. Cruise in Saturday, June 28th and be one of 25 players to win cool trips, hot prizes, or a new Ford Mustang. Hit the gas at Live Casino at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
driving in Maryland? Did you know an Easy Pass from driveeasymd.com can save you time and money? Of course you did, because you are a thrifty driver. An antenna reads your Easy Pass transponder and automatically deducts the toll from your Easy Pass account. Learn more at driveeasymd.com.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Want to improve your golf game or learn to play for the first time? The Baltimore Golf Academy has fun, instructional programs for the beginner golfer to everyday players. The Baltimore Golf Academy can take your game to the next level. Enroll today at baltimoregolfacademy.com.
Whether your focus is luxury and comfort, convenience and technologically advanced connectivity, or sporty performance and aggressive styling, we've got the perfect Highlander for you. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new Highlanders from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
So I guess they root for all the darters. Like I guess that's what it is. Like, so Eric's sending me the video from the darts. I guess that like you don't just have like a favorite darter and then like you root for him.
Was this Luke Littler? Was he there?
I could not possibly tell you, but like the way that it looks
the only
is
one
like,
I know.
It seems like the bit is that you have a different song for every darter, and whoever wins, you're like, good for them, they won. Like you don't. This isn't like you show up and you're.
Well, I guess you're rooting for a good match.
Yeah, you're not a Scotty Scheffler fan, and so like if he loses, I guess.
Is that how golf works?
I don't know how golf works now that I think about it. Like, do you go rooting for somebody, or do you just go to watch the golf? I don't know golf. Like, to be fair,
Luke the Nuke, that's his name.
Like
that's his Twitter name.
In tennis, it's very jingoistic, right? Like we all root for, like the Spaniards all show up to root for Rafael Nadal, and
we all root for Tommy Paul and.
Root against Alex Zverev, I know that much. But like it's typically it's your countrymen that you go root for, and that creates sort of like a festive atmosphere because you have everybody with their flags and their their chants
kind of like
and
a
doing
soccer,
all that.
like a international.
It's
soccer.
It's not soccer, but like it's a little slightly different version of that. But it is customary in tennis. You don't root against anyone. Like if someone you're not supposed to when you're at the match. When you're at the match, you're not supposed to, like, boo, although obviously the New York crowd did it to Daniil Medvedev that one year, and there's other people they've taken their angst out on. But the custom in tennis is that you clap for everybody. You just root louder for your guy than you do for the other person. Like, the other person hits a winner, you cheer for that too. So I guess in darts it's sort of similar. Like, you just show up, you cheer for all the darters. Like, you darter, go. And
so I guess golf would be probably similar to tennis then. Like you make a putt, some guy makes a putt, and you're like, all right, I guess that's good. And then Scotty makes a putt.
And if somebody and you never like if somebody misses the green on their approach, you don't ever like you don't cheer for that because you wanted the other guy to win.
Unless you bet on it and then
I don't think you're supposed to do that. I don't think you're supposed to do that in golf. God, they keep trying to force the team thing. Like I think that's part of the. So they're trying to have the conversation about how to bring LIV and the PGA back together. And apparently, like, part of the sticking point is, like, the obsession with the idea of keeping the teams, which there is no human on the planet who gives a rat's ass about, but they've been sold this idea of, well, one day people will care about it. And when they do, the teams will be valuable. And you'll want to have ownership of a team in golf. And you'll just never sell me on the idea that anyone will ever care about golf teams. Ever. Like, not just in my lifetime. I mean, in the future. I cannot fathom that. And it's easy to say, well, that's because you've only ever known it one way, and so you're not willing to consider what it might be like. I guess. You're really hard pressed to believe that I could ever care about teams in golf, or that anyone will ever care about teams in golf. Let's cover a couple things. Today's show brought to you by the Maryland 5-Star, maryland5star.us with the number 5. Get your tickets. It's back up at Fair Hill this October. Maryland5star.us. Everything you love about the Maryland 5-Star. Triple Crown of Equestrian, plus the Corgi Cup and the ponies and the Fall Festival. It's an awesome, awesome weekend. Lost a couple of legends, actually, this week. Dwayne Lucas passed away. Dwayne Lucas, one of the nicest people. There was a part of my life where I covered the Triple Crown pretty seriously. Would go broadcast from the Kentucky Derby every year. Would go to the Belmont, obviously the Preakness. And there were few people that were more accessible than Dwayne Lucas. And wanted to give you more of their time, and were happy to be a recognizable face. Like, what Dwayne Lucas knew was that the time that he gave to you was valuable for him, but it was valuable for the entirety of the sport. And my wife, because she rides horses, this was the only thing that we ever... When I met my wife and she found out what I did, she did not care. She was not interested. Other than when I said, hey, I might be going to do my show from the Kentucky Derby, and she said, well, I'm going to go with you. And I was like, well, I don't know how that would work. And I do have to thank my buddy Mike Gaffigan, who's now at Towson, who was willing to allow my wife to also be a credentialed part of what I was doing because she knew horses. And she offered value in that way. And so when I would go somewhere and I would cover something, my wife would go with me because she did offer value to my coverage that I would not have had otherwise. And so he put in the good word with the folks of the Kentucky Derby, like, no, like, she's legit, like, she's part of this. And so she was able to go with me. And she would oftentimes go arrange, like, she would go barn to barn and, like, go up to Bob Baffert and say, hi, Bob, can you come talk to Glenn? And that way she was sort of like my wrangler when I would go do these shows. And she, like, developed this relationship with Dwayne Lucas that, like, I said, when I started writing it yesterday, I was a little bit worried that somebody would take it the wrong way. They were extraordinarily flirty with each other. But it wasn't a creepy thing. It was, she really liked Dwayne Lucas. He was a very sweet man. And he really liked her. She was a, young, pretty blonde who wouldn't. And they just developed, they were very friendly when we would see each other. They would strike up conversations and talk about horses, which was something that my wife, it's like the one thing that my wife loves to do is talk about horses. And so he would, like, show her other horses that he had stabled at the barn in Louisville that weren't race horses. They were just stabled there. And, like, she would lose her mind, like, have the time of her life. And I would joke that, like, my wife would leave me for Dwayne Lucas in a heartbeat if he ever was willing to. But an incredibly kind person and obviously a legend within the sport. We know him as a man that won seemingly every Preakness. I think he won 7. I know Bob Baffert had more than that, but, like, Dwayne Lucas, an absolute legend in horse racing, and really was just, like, trained horses until the day he died. Like, was still actively training contenders this year until his passing. So the sad moment in horse racing is Dwayne Lucas passed away this week. Also, Dave Parker died, which was incredibly sad because Dave Parker's going into the Hall of Fame this summer.
Right.
It's awful. Like, just awful timing. The Cobra, of course, one of the great hitters of a generation. And like, there's been a lot of frustration vented about the fact that, like, he had to wait so long to get in the Hall of Fame that he ends up passing away before his induction ceremony. I understand that, but, like, Dave Parker was on that cusp where it wasn't obvious. Like, it wasn't overwhelming that he had to be in the Hall of Fame, so I can understand why it took a little while for him to get in, but it is terribly sad that he passes away before he's able to enjoy his Hall of Fame induction. So, I mean, obviously he died knowing that he had been elected to the Hall of Fame, but didn't get to have his weekend in Cooperstown. That's very, very sad. Away from sad news, some dumb controversy yesterday, because we are a dumb people. And I hated doing this.
I forgot that I missed something from Raw last night.
The person that I saw share it is someone I like a lot. It's the great Dick Vitale. They announced that Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier will be the captains for the WNBA All-Star Game. They then revealed how the voting shook out, the different aspects of the apparently different elements for WNBA All-Star voting. Fans vote, media vote, and then the players themselves vote. You will not be surprised to learn that the fans voted
Angel Reese,
Caitlin Clark first on their ballots. Caitlin Clark was the number one vote getter according to WNBA fans. Not surprising. According to the media, she was the number 3 vote getter. But when the players put out their ballots, she was 9th because this is just proof they're all jealous. They all hate her because they ain't her. And this was flooding the internet yesterday. And Dick Vitale said, absolutely, capital letters, pure jealousy. The WNBA players voted Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard. Someday they'll realize what she has done for all of the players in the WNBA. Chartered planes, increase in salaries, sold-out crowds, improved TV ratings. Which, it's weird. I was going to look at stats from this year, and they didn't. It's weird how that works. Like, they didn't actually list salaries or salary bumps among stats. But you know what I could find was efficiency ratings. So much like in baseball, we accept WAR as like the the way to
Maybe
best.
It shouldn't be, but yeah.
Why shouldn't it be?
Well, I don't know. I guess I was just
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like I'm just meaning it's like it's not.
This
like
sounds
a
like
perfect
the
stat. It's just.
I don't know that it's a perfect stat, but
Yeah.
I think it's the best of what we've got.
No. I mean, I
in
like to
determining
accept it.
when we try to determine the whole of a
But
player.
I know people like to roll their eyes when they see WAR sometimes.
Well, I think a lot of those people are just people that roll their eyes at anything that is related to data. Like when something's related to data, they're like, blah, 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 posh on your data. Well, the data is, no, it's not.
I think I saw what Corey Seager's expected slug is like 100 points higher than what it actually is.
Okay.
This season.
Well, I mean, I think there's value in that data
Yeah.
too, which is to suggest there's probably been some bad luck for Corey Seager this year. Now, that doesn't mean, again, what you don't come away with from that is, well, this says that Corey Seager
Should be
or attempts to take the actual production combined with what you do defensively, combined with what you do in all aspects of the game,
right,
and figure out who the best baseball players are. Makes sense. It's not, if you want to say it's not perfect, say it's not perfect. But it is definitely the best of what we've got. And in the same way, efficiency ratings for basketball are the best of what we've got. We don't have, if you just look at how many points someone scores, then what you could be missing is the other issues that are related to that point scorer, which are perhaps they turn the ball over a lot. Perhaps they are terrible defenders. If we only say who scored the most points, well then, what if it took them 50 more shots per game to score the points that someone else was scoring in a lesser amount of shots? These are all of the things that go into building up efficiency ratings. So just for funsies, Caitlin Clark was voted 9th by WNBA players, which seems like it's probably proof. It's just jealousy. It's Caitlin Clark. She's clearly the best player in the WNBA. Where, if you wandered over to look at players' efficiency ratings this year, where do you think Caitlin Clark would be?
I think she'd be towards the top.
Towards the top.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'd probably say at least top 10. I guess I can't say I've watched every Caitlin Clark game, so I might not have.
To be fair, neither have I. That's why I did this.
Okay. But if she's finished top 10 in each of these 3 voting criteria, I would think she's top 10. Maybe even close to top 5. I don't know. She's definitely pretty good whenever I do
the top
see her
5, all great players.
Asia Wilson, I'm sure.
She's number 2.
Okay.
Nafisa Collier is number 1. Asia Wilson, number 2. Maryland's own Alyssa Thomas, number 3.
Wow.
Aaliyah Boston, teammate of Caitlin Clark's, number 4. Brianna Stewart, number 5. I mean, these are great
they're pretty good
players. So, it's fair. It's hard to. And then, still some good players in the next 5.
Ionescu? I don't know.
Ionescu is 10th.
Okay.
Ariel Powers is in that list. Azura Stevens, Jonquel Jones, Maria Klinikova. Like, good players. Ariel Powers has only played 2 games, so we could probably toss
But
her
no
off
one
the
named
list.
Clark?
Yeah, haven't gotten there yet.
She's not in the top 10?
Haven't gotten there yet. Oh, here's Angel Reese.
Really?
Here's Angel Reese.
Angel Reese is ahead of her?
Significantly.
Does the world know that?
Although, to be fair, Angel Reese's efficiency rating is 19.0. Caitlin Clark's is 17.0.
Does it have to do with the fact that she missed like 2 weeks? Or?
No, it has to do with the fact that she turns the ball over a lot. It has to do with the fact that right now, Caitlin Clark's turnover percentage is 25.2.
What?
Yeah. Caitlin Clark has not been having a great season. Now, somebody might say that's because of she was banged up. And so maybe in the second half of the year, Caitlin Clark is going to be the best player in the WNBA. But right now, if they did voting about who the best players were, Caitlin Clark is not one of the best couple of players. And yet, she was still voted in the top 10, which is kind of the silly thing about this. We've lost our minds. Ratings, salad, we just say those things again, that makes Jake Paul the best boxer in the world because he's got the most Instagram followers.
He's got the most recent win.
And it doesn't mean, I don't think Caitlin Clark is as bad as she's been at stretches this year because she's also had some really good games. I don't think she really is that bad. I think she's much better than that. But the notion this is pure jealousy because she's the best player and they don't recognize that. No, you think she's the best player because she's the only one you watch. So you've convinced yourself that means Caitlin Clark is the end-all, be-all of basketball because she is the reason why you watch. So she must be the best player. She's not. And again, that's not me saying she's bad or she isn't one of the best players. I think she is, and I think ultimately she will be by the end of the year. I think the injury has hurt her this year. She's had some bad shooting games as well because of it. I think she'll ultimately prove to be one of the best players in the WNBA by the end of the year. But we've lost it. The plot is gone because we just breathlessly say, this is just jealousy. Or they were actually being polite and still voting her 9th. When the truth is she hasn't been one of the best players in the WNBA this year. We're so separated from reality. I'll never understand this conversation. It always goes one of two ways. Like, oh, this poor girl's just getting fouled all the time. So you want the other teams to just let her win? Is that your argument? That these other teams should be like,
well, it's going to be better for the league. Yeah.
Caitlin Clark's popular, so we should probably not try. There was a video of Kelsey Plum from, I think, the game where they retired Candace Parker's jersey on Sunday. They played Chicago, in fact. The Sky won. Angel Reese had another. Angel Reese has actually had a really great stretch. Like the last 5 games, she's been phenomenal.
Since she
after
after
she had a tough start to the season, admittedly, and got emotional and was struggling. Like the last 5 games, she's been awesome. But Chicago wins this game in L.A. And before the game, Kelsey Plum sees someone sitting courtside wearing a Caitlin Clark shirt, and she comes over, and it's all very fun and tongue-in-cheek. She comes over and throws her a Sparks shirt. It says, hey, if you're going to be sitting next to the court, you got to do better. Like, we need you in Sparks gear. And it's all really sweet. And she takes a picture with these fans before the game. It's an amazing moment that few people get to experience. And yet it's written up by the internet as Kelsey Plum's jealous of Caitlin Clark fans. We're just lost. We've lost it. I always use the term fetishize because I can't come up with anything else. We have no idea how to talk about this girl. We can't just treat her like a basketball player, which is what she is. A good one, no doubt. Not the greatest in the history of basketball, not close. a very good basketball player. She does play the game a little bit differently than we're used to, but not all that differently than Sabrina Ionescu. It's bizarre. I'll never understand it. Jealousy. Jealousy was the reason why the 42nd best player in the WNBA was voted 9th. Because of jealousy. And maybe not because, like, the players actually got it right. Like, they were actually, the ones that didn't just default to Instagram followers, but tried to figure out, like, hey, who are the best players? It's weird. Weird how that works. Who are the three? We had runaway game last night at trivia. We trounced the competition last night. It was a big night for us. Yeah. What 3 NBA players have been Finals MVP more than once since 2010? By the way,
LeBron.
Ken Weinman showed up at trivia.
Really?
Was just there for dinner with his, he didn't even know there was trivia. And he didn't see this question. I gave it to him, and he missed one. And Ken knows more about sports than I do.
Multiple time in Finals MVP.
Multiple Finals MVPs since 2010.
Yeah, I mean, I have to get this. LeBron. Okay. 3 times? Three times this has happened? So
there's 3 players that have multiple NBA Finals MVPs since 2010.
Tim Duncan. Okay. I don't want to go with that one. LeBron, Duncan. I guess it's got to be a Warrior, but I don't think they had, because Steph only won it once, and then wasn't it Iguodala one time, and then I think KD the other. Did KD win it twice? I'll go KD.
You went 2 for 3.
Damn it.
By the way, you gave the exact same first 3 answers that Ken Weinman did.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan predates 2010.
The Spurs 14. What was the one before 14? That was the only one they've won since 2010.
2010.
Wow.
Well, I can do that.
13. No, they won. No.
Yeah, they did win. They might have won another, but you're.
Oh, it was like Tony Parker or something, or.
Think about it.
Wait.
Think about it.
So it was a Spur.
Think about it.
Manu.
You're not thinking about.
Oh, Kawhi. Darn. Yeah.
Kawhi. And by the way, no, the Spurs' only title on that was the 2014.
And Kawhi was the MVP of that one?
And before that, it was 2007, and Tony Parker was the MVP that year. Tim Duncan did win 3 Finals MVPs in his career. But all before.
So Kawhi was 2014?
The last one was 2005. And, yeah, Kawhi was 2014, obviously, with the Spurs, and then with the Raptors.
Wow.
Exactly right. So your boy went 3
KD,
for 3
LeBron,
on
and
that
Kawhi.
one. Yeah. But you did just as well as Ken Weinman did. You got that going for you.
That is where I want to be. I want to be right on par with Ken.
100%.
I think that's a good thing.
All right, we come back in. A neat story. Evan Brown, former Loyola golfer, he made the PGA Tour this weekend. He made his debut on the PGA Tour. We're going to talk to him about that experience next. It's Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Need a trophy or award that's as unique as the achievement? Look no further than Crown Trophy. With locations in Owings Mills and Gaithersburg, they specialize in custom trophies, plaques, and medals for any occasion. From sports and academic awards to employee recognition recognition, and corporate gifts. Visit crowntrophy.com today and let them help you create a lasting memory for your school, team, or business. Crown Trophy is a proud supporter of the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association. crowntrophy.com.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, we celebrate the first ever Baltimore basketball player to reach the Naismith Hall of Fame as we talk to those who knew Carmelo Anthony best about how his Baltimore upbringing shaped his legendary career. Also inside, Bo Smolka profiles Ravens second-round pick Mike Green and find our annual summer travel section with information on some of the best sporting events and activities in Maryland that your family can check out all summer long. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Calling all athletes and families, don't miss Football versus Football, a free sports and wellness festival Saturday, July 19th from 10 to 6 at Baltimore Peninsula. Meet retired Ravens, other former NFL stars, and pro soccer players. Join youth sports clinics, get free health screenings, and enjoy food, music, and family fun. Powered by United Healthcare, presented by Sports Legacy Group, and supported by University of Maryland Orthopedics and 1-800-GAMBLER.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
One of the things that's definitely wrong with this country is that this dude still has a job somehow, some way. Glenn Clark.
All right, back in here on GCRs, continue along. Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, the best place to watch all of the big events. Some huge soccer matches coming up this week, as they're in the knockout rounds, both at the Gold Cup and as well as the FIFA Club World Cup, and then the Women's Euro gets underway. We settled that, our competition. Have we figured everything out yet?
Can we watch the hot dog eating contest or anything?
I'm sure they have. They'll have it on 100%. Sports and Social, Live Casino and Hotel, always the best place to watch all of the big events with the 100-foot media wall, just steps away from the FanDuel Sportsbook, delicious food, and an atmosphere that is unmatched for sports watching in our region. So I know it didn't go exactly the way that he wanted it to, but still an amazing accomplishment for our next guest, as last week he qualified and played on the PGA Tour for the first time in his career as he participated in the Rocket Classic. He is a former Loyola Greyhound. He's Evan Brown, and he's with us this morning here on GCR. Evan, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes for us.
Absolutely. Hey, Glenn, how are you?
I'm great,
Glad
man. Evan, it's good to talk to you. I'm sure you would have loved to have had a weekend where you went and did something amazing and made the cut. But can you put into words just qualifying last Monday, getting to share that moment with the people that you love, and getting to play in a PGA Tour event? Like, how do you describe what that experience is like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I truly lived out a childhood dream last week. It was something that I've worked hard pretty much my entire life to achieve, and to have all my loved ones there, aunts, uncles, cousins, parents, girlfriend. I mean, it was truly a special week. Obviously the results weren't how I was looking to have them go, but still lots of great memories, and hope to do it again here soon.
That's awesome, man. What was it like when you show up? Did you feel like you belonged? Did you have to go through like I know who that guy is. Did you have to go through any of that? Like, what were the feelings like when you actually got there?
I mean, I definitely think that my game can translate easily to the levels that I'm playing at currently to the PGA Tour. So from that standpoint, I didn't really have too much starstruckness. But
okay,
I definitely when I walked into player dining and I'm sitting down next to Ricky Fowler, and I had lunch with Jay Monahan on Wednesday.
Wow.
So there were some big names that were there, and it was interesting to say the least. But definitely, have to kind of move past that, focus on the golf come Thursday morning.
Did you did you go there trying to soak anything up from watching those guys? Did you have any hey, this is a chance for me to see how they prepare, or were you so much just thinking about you and the way that you played that you weren't doing any of that?
Yeah, I think that there was a little bit of both, right? I'm still focused on trying to, play the best that I can, but obviously taking that week as an opportunity to learn from the best in the world. I definitely saw that the two guys that I played with, Jesper Svensson and Stephen Fisk, the things that they do well, even guys on the driving range, just, kind of the work ethics and different things that are making these great players really, really successful on the PGA Tour. I could tell a lot of short games were very, very good, which is typically key to a long, successful career in professional golf. But definitely a little bit of both.
He is Evan Brown, former Loyola golfer. He's with us here on GCR. Evan, there's a part of me what you're talking about. Hey, I belong here. This is where I want to be. So I've got to act like I belong here. There's also part of me that says hey, if I care about golf and I'm hanging out somewhere where Hideki Matsuyama and Keegan Bradley are, I might maybe try to get a picture or something like that. Is there what's the line between those two? Do you allow yourself any of that, or does it have to be fully focused, can't do any of that type of stuff?
I would say that for me last week it was fully focused. I think that it can definitely from a fellow player perspective be a little awkward to go ask other professional golfers for pictures, especially when you try and feel like you're equivalent or on the same length. I definitely had to inform some of my family members when they were player dining, sitting next to Ricky Fowler, to try not to be so starstruck and ask for autographs and pictures and stuff like that. So. But all fun. I mean, they know, all these players know that there's a lot of people that really want to see them be successful and are there cheering them on, myself included. So it's nice when that happens, regardless.
So accomplishing this, right? Because I know the goal isn't, hey, I did it once and now it's over. Accomplishing this, how much does that drive you now moving forward to? Do you? How many Monday events do you play in? All of these? What is the year look like for you as you try to get into more events?
This year, I've definitely played in more than I have in the last couple of years.
Okay.
Just with having conditional Korn Ferry status, I've been kind of struggling to get into events. Playing certain places. It's been kind of an awkward year. But playing more PGA Tour qualifiers this year because it's been my first year with Korn Ferry status, which allows me to play directly into the PGA Tour Monday qualifiers. So in doing that, this is the first time that I've gotten through, obviously, on any larger tour than the developmental tours that I'm currently playing. But, definitely it fuels the fire. I know that I can, play out there with those guys. I know that I belong. It helps me kind of understand where my weak areas are, and then just keeps me wanting to get out there. Keeps me hungry, keeps me wanting to be working as hard as I can on the practice screens and driving ranges. The rest of this year and into the future, just to get back to being there long term.
And what is it about Coach Beloga and the Loyola program that there's two of you that now have done this, which is pretty freaking remarkable for a program like Loyola.
Coach Beloga's got a lot of, he's awesome. I mean, he molded me into the player that I am today. He took a chance on me when I was a junior. And even I'm sure Brandon and some of the other guys from our class and that were on the team, will say the same, that, we wouldn't be the golfers that we would be, without his expertise and, help through our development process. I love, just even talking to him, throughout the weeks when I'm in big events and, chatting it up and, just kind of staying in touch. It's been great. I mean, he seriously is one of the most important people to me and has helped me in a lot of ways, both on and off the golf course. So it's been cool. It's cool to have a couple guys having really good success. It's good for the program. I definitely think there's a lot of great recruits and, teams doing really well right now. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he and the team do for the future years.
Is there any sort of fun or friendly rival? So for those that don't know, Evan, we were talking about Brandon Barry, who had previously made a PGA Tour event, the Punta Cana. Is there a friendly rivalry between the two of you as far as accomplishments go? Do you Like now I get to text him and say like scoreboard or anything like that? How does that work?
No. I mean, we obviously both want to be successful. I mean, there's definitely, he texted me earlier in the week because he actually Monday qualified for this tournament last year. So he was playing in it as well. So he's, there's just things like that that, we're able to kind of, bounce ideas off back and forth. He helps me, I help him. Because we're both still learning about the process, and people that we know that are in our corners, whether it's, fellow pros that, giving us advice here and there, it's useful information to both of us to kind of help prolong and, have long-term successful careers.
That's really cool, man. That's really, really cool. So what is, like, from having been there and experienced it, right, what do you think the biggest difference from being someone who can qualify on a Monday, play, a Korn Ferry status, that type, to being someone that can compete at the highest level of golf? What do you come away with saying, hey, these are the areas that I need to most focus on in order to take that, proverbial next step in your game?
Yeah, I definitely, I would say that I would need to work on the short game. That's obviously something that I noticed a lot this week. I felt like going into the week that, when you get to that stage, you either go one of two ways. It's either you try and play safe shots and not be too aggressive, or you play really, really aggressive. And a lot of those guys out there have found success and, are really good at playing very, very aggressive. But then when they miss and are short-sighted and in really tough spots, they have an easy time getting those shots up and down, which I guess is a little bit different than, what I see a lot of guys, now across different developmental tours and Korn Ferry. A lot of those guys are aggressive, but they play to smart shots, and then they just make putts. But out there, I noticed a lot of the time that guys would miss short-sighted and, they're chipping those in, they're getting them up and down. It's like it doesn't even matter, but they're taking on every pin that they see. So I think that maybe getting a little bit more aggressive in my game, maybe not playing, so safe, just kind of different thought processes through seeing what these guys have done and are successful with doing. I think that's something I can take forward and use in the future.
It's wild to think that, like, you might, like, hit a shot that you're, like, really unhappy with, but then you still have to think about how you're going to go score, right? Like,
exactly. The scoring aspect is the huge thing.
Right? Like, that's nuts, man. Did you so this will always be the first, did you keep anything from the weekend? Do you have anything, like, that particularly means anything from you for, like,
I did. I talked. I stole the caddy bib, which had my name on the back of it. So that was
cool.
That was something I definitely was going to take. I'll probably frame that. Took some flags. I had some cool mementos for the week. Lots of cool pictures. First tee on Thursday was definitely probably the most nervous I've been in my career to date. But
how was the first drive? How was the first drive? Like,
first drive was not good.
Was that just because of the?
Not great.
Was that the adrenaline that was, like, pumping?
It was definitely the adrenaline, trying to hit that perfect shot. I had a bunch of people there sitting watching. I did have one long putt that I made that was pretty cool. I had a big roar from the crowd. So
that's dope,
it was fun to kind of have, the roars and the claps and people cheering me on. Some people knew that I Monday qualified, knew the story. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Signing lots of autographs. It's a fun week all in all.
That's awesome, man. Like, that is a really cool, like, you made someone's day, right? Like, some kid was, like, the highlight of their day was they got to meet you this weekend, man. That's awesome. What a cool feeling that is. Evan,
it is a very cool feeling.
So happy for you, man, and can't wait to see what's next. Awesome that you got to have the experience. I don't know if you know, but I am I do play-by-play for a lot of the sports at Loyola, so I'm a Greyhound at heart, and it's just awesome to see the success that you're having, and can't wait to see what's next. Is there somewhere, Instagram or Twitter, anything like that, where we should direct people to give you a follow as you go through all this?
Yeah, absolutely. My Instagram is Evan Brown Golf. I post all my content of the tournaments that I play. I've got my website, evanbrowngolf.com, listed on there too. So that gives all the updates on the tournaments I'm playing in, where I'm going, and what I have coming up next.
Great stuff, man. Evan, congratulations on getting through, and may there be about 1 million more of them moving forward. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning, dude, and best of luck, all right?
Awesome. I appreciate it, Glenn. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Evan Brown, Loyola golfer. Again, got his first taste of the PGA Tour this weekend at the Rocket Classic, and look forward to seeing how many more there are in the future. But a really neat story. I was trying to think about, like, how cool would you be able to be in these circumstances? And it's like it's impossible because you're thinking of yourself in those moments, right? Like I'm thinking about, for me, like if I've told the story when I one time I went to Wimbledon, it happened to be that Bryant McKinney had like given me this. He grew up with Venus he was very friendly with Venus Williams, but he said, "Hey, if you're around Serena at all, why would I be around Serena? Like this is so and so is like her security person that's always with her. And if you yell out his name and he turns around and looks, just say, 'I'm Bryant McKinney's friend.'" And who knows? Like he didn't promise anything. He just said like this is the only thing I could do. And I swear to God, she played on court. I told the story. She played on court too.
Right.
We went out to watch her on court too because we decided we'd rather watch Serena than go to center court. And like people clown me about that. I'm like, it's Serena Williams. They're like, yeah, but Roger Federer was on center court. I'm like, right, I'm American. Like Serena Williams, I wanted to watch Serena Williams. So I went to court 2, and then we just, again, you have to walk through the hoi polloi to get from court 2 to set the back to where the locker rooms are at Wimbledon. So we just followed her, and sure enough, I just thought, I'll give it a shot. And I can't remember the guy's name, but yelled out his name. He turned around. I said, "I'm Bryant McKinney's friend." And he said, "Come here."
Ha!
And
then he said, "You don't ever."
We got 20 seconds with Serena Williams. It was amazing. Like I will never forget it. It was just unbelievable. Like the greatest thing ever. But like that's me because I know I'm not a tennis player, right? Like I know there's no harm of the fact that I in that moment was kind of a fanboy, right? Like I understand exactly what Evan Brown's saying, which is like, no, dude, I can't be like, holy crap, that's Hideki Matsuyama. He won the Masters. Like I can't do that. So that's Keegan Bradley. He won the U.S. Open. I have to be a golfer because I want to beat those guys. So he's right. But I still would have to, like, it would still be tough. Like, it would just be tough. Like, you're around all these people. Like, you kind of want to, a little bit, enjoy that. I'm happy for him. That's a really cool thing. County Sports Zone, countysports.zone is the website. It's proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Everything you need to know about high school sports, their coaching changes, there's news, anything like that. Throughout the course of the summer, they'll keep you updated at countysports.zone. You mentioned Darren Waller is back in the NFL, one-time former Ravens wide receiver, who ultimately became an outstanding tight end, of course, with the Raiders, and then finished his career with the Giants. And retired is no longer retired. He's coming out of retirement after the Dolphins. The way this trade unfolded yesterday, like where we were so confused. At first, we didn't know what the Steelers gave up for Jalen Ramsey. Then we found out it was Minkah Fitzpatrick, and we're like, what? Like, that's weird.
And
then we found out it was
Smith.
it was Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, and we're like, well, that actually sounds like a.
And was there a draft pick?
There was a,
there had to
but
have
it was
been
like it was a late round draft pick.
So it wasn't like a significant draft pick.
So it seems like a win for the Steelers, the trade that they made yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, you're still not going to get me to get worked up about it because they don't have a quarterback. So
They think they do.
I understand that.
They have the illusion of a quarterback.
They have the illusion of a quarterback. I do agree with you. They have someone who will play the quarterback position. But on the heels of that, the Dolphins have a tight end. And maybe have known they had a tight end all along, and they were just trying to wait till they made the trade in order to do this. But the Dolphins acquire Darren Waller, who's coming out of retirement, to be their tight end.
They want to piss off Jonnu, so.
I don't know. A lot of the Raheem Mostert tweet yesterday was pretty.
Like the Dolphins. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Be a Pro Bowler for the Dolphins, and they'll treat you like crap. Like there was a lot of.
Yeah. I
don't really know what the Dolphins are doing. It's an awkward spot to be in because we've talked about it before with the Dolphins. It's not just we're saying you can't break through in the AFC with Tua Tagovailoa. They know that.
Maybe they should try Talia.
Yeah. I just saw he's playing like arena football or something like
He's
that.
probably tearing it up.
But I don't think it's in like I don't think there's the arena
like
league.
the European football.
No, like he was in the European league, but then he came back and he's playing in. That's the thing. There's no arena football league anymore, so I don't know if this is like the best arena football. He's playing for a team in Lowell, Massachusetts. I just saw that.
It's a good city.
I guess. I don't think I've ever spent any time in Lowell. But I say all this to say
The Mass Pirates.
Yes.
The Indoor Football League, IFL.
And that might be like the Arena Football League now because there is no Arena Football League anymore. I have no idea. I don't pay attention to the
want to say
subject.
more or less yes.
I'll believe you. So the Dolphins know that they've got a problem. And part of it is Tua's health, for sure, right? Like
the NBC Boston used a picture of him with Alabama.
Okay. I don't care. This is the thing
Not
where
Maryland.
we obsess over the wrong parts of the conversation.
Yeah, well.
The Dolphins know that they have a Tua problem. We know that because they tried to get Tom Brady. They know. They know they have a problem. And we've seen Tua Tagovailoa, like when he's at his best, look really good. Look incredible. I think there's a Dak Prescott comparison, but you have to add in with Tua the part that you don't like talking about, which is at any point it feels like he's one hit away from never being able to play football again. And we're all a little uncomfortable with the fact that he's even playing football at all. So, like, are the Dolphins kind of openly acknowledging that? Like, there are people that think that they're, like, sort of half tanking.
Tom Pelissero showed out like the tweet of like he's like, this is the Dolphins offense now, and it's like, I mean, I guess it is good,
yeah,
but
I mean,
it's like it's like Achane and
everybody thought they were going to trade Tyreek Hill. They didn't
and
trade Tyreek Hill,
and
so like
Waddle
you can talk yourself into it. You can talk yourself into like, that could be a powerful lot. Look, just him throwing to Waddle and
the O line was off. Did their O line improve in the offseason?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
like. It's just kind of meh. You don't really understand what they're doing. It's what it is. I mean, I don't care. Not my problem. But they get Darren Waller, so bully for them. And you know what today is?
July 1st.
You know what that means?
Oh, it's old Chris Davis Day.
It's Bobby Bonilla Day,
and soon to be Mookie Betts Day.
Oh, is he?
He's got a lot of money owed from the Dodgers. He's gonna be all right for the next 15 years.
Famously, Bobby Bonilla gets $1.2 million every day until like 2035. Every July 1st until like 2035. Right. That's
good work.
That's a decent. I think that's right. It's $1.2 million every day until 2035. I think is the answer.
Every July.
July 1st.
Yes, every July 1st.
God, what I keep saying.
Oh, their big acquisition was Zach Wilson. I forgot about that. For the Dolphins. That's the backup they got.
Chris Davis today pockets a cool $9.16 million. Oh, my
God.
According to Spot Track. So there's some controversy.
Should we have called him?
There's some controversy about this, right? So Dan Connolly, who's no longer with Baltimore baseball, Dan Connolly has stepped away from baseball reporting, or The Athletic, where he was in the Sun before that. Dan Connolly said, "Happy Bobby Bonilla Day," or as we say in Baltimore, "Happy Chris Davis Day." The XO Davis receives $3.5 million every July 1st from the Orioles until 2032, and then a paltry $1.4 million from 2033 to 37. Now, I don't know if this is just the agreement in the structure, but Spot Track reported it this way. Former first baseman Chris Davis secures a $9.16 million payment today stemming from 2 deferral agreements throughout his contract. So, either way, today is a happy day for Chris Davis. I'd settle for somebody has $20. Like, I just take it. Happy day for Chris Davis. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Happy Chris Davis Day. All right, I think we're good. Let's get a tidbit. Tidbit.
Good.
What?
Yeah, all right. I'm trying to think of what else I need to say before
you're gone.
I'll be gone forever.
Hey, next week I'm gone, but Griffin's going to be doing some content with you guys. It will not be full shows. It's just too much.
Yeah, we're going to be better.
It's too much. Yeah, right. Instead, Griffin will be with you at 10, not on Monday, but Tuesday through Friday next week, 10 o'clock with a different guest co-host every day for like a 30-minute podcast version of the show. The show will be live. You'll be able to watch it live.
How pissed are you going to be when we do 2 hours?
If you do 2 hours, God love you. Do 2 hours. I mean, we're going to prepare for the right. Actually, no, you can't do 2 hours. I need you to work on some other things. That's not an option. We have things that we need to do.
Yeah, but what if we're just killing it?
No. I mean,
if we look into the YouTube chat, we got like 500 people, and it's like
then start your own show. Then leave this show and start your own show. And I mean it. Do that. Be insane not to. He'll be with you. Different like KZ and Luke Jackson and Stan the Fan.
And then who knows who the other one could
Yeah, right. Could be anybody. Who knows? Maybe it's Chris Davis.
Maybe.
But they'll be joining him throughout the course of the week. So Tuesday to Friday of next week, they'll be doing that. All right, Tidbit is brought to you today by.
Oh, did you? So the Browns.
God's sakes!
Did you see the Browns? The Browns just announced a new stadium.
Great.
With a roof.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of hate that. I want an outdoor stadium in the AFC North.
Nobody
and it kind of looks sick.
Nobody should be. Yeah, I bet it is, and they'll probably get major events because of it in Cleveland,
including the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get a Super Bowl or
they
not.
will 100. I mean, they'll have to, right? I mean, it's going to be.
I mean, Detroit
in
got,
theory,
Detroit
it
got
should be
one.
nicer than everywhere else, right?
What?
Like it'll be nicer than like Minnesota, and I mean they're gonna have that's. I would
But
assume that's the goal.
Minnesota is thought of as
a new stadium.
Minnesota has been thought of as a bigger event city than Cleveland. Cleveland's never been thought of as a big event.
So because of the city infrastructure, you're.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like Detroit got one. So if Detroit got one, then yeah, you could argue
what
that.
did they say? 2028? Is that the
I
ETA?
I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, this is kind of news. This is
sure for the people that care. It very much is.
All right, fine.
All right, tidbit.
I mean,
as I was
love
saying,
poo-pooing on the Browns, but I
don't.
mean,
What do you want me to say? What's the take? What is the take to have here?
I don't know. Be mad.
Hooray! Baltimore should have an indoor stadium. I've said it a billion times.
No,
it's
I want an
bat
outdoor
ass
stadium.
insane. Good. Continue to not have all the biggest events. Continue to ask why it is there are empty seats at games. Continue to do all that stuff. And just heart behind the, I thought some of us were just a little bit tougher than you. Just mouth breather S.
Well,
continue to hide behind, it's the AFC North. We play AFC North football. Well, now one of the teams is an indoor stadium. I don't know what to say, man. Like, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. You're spitting right in your own face when you continue to hide behind we gotta have outdoor stadiums. It's nonsense. It is just stupid. And the Ravens continue to do it. And look, man, the Ravens are plenty successful as an organization, so perhaps they don't care about what it is that they're losing in the process, but it's dumb. It is incredibly dumb. Tidbit is brought to you by print issue of Press Box, which is available for free at your neighborhood Royal Farms, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Press Box. You can read it all, PressBoxOnline.com. Carmelo Anthony on the cover. Great story about, or a look at how Baltimore shaped the legacy and the career of Baltimore's first ever basketball Hall of Famer. So go pick it up right now for free, your neighborhood Royal Farms.
Carlos Alcaraz is now one of 4 players. Comes from Opta Ace, by the way, on Twitter. 4 players in the Open era to win each of his first 18 opening singles matches at a Grand Slam on the men's side. First 18 singles matches at a Grand Slam, along with 3
the
others.
first 18 Grand Slams he played in.
To win each of his first 18.
You're saying the opening match of
yes, the opening
not
match.
the first 18 Grand Slam matches he played.
Yeah.
The first match he played at 18 different Grand Slams.
His first 18, yes.
Okay.
Who are the other 3?
Yeah. I mean, this could end up being completely random, but I'll say Federer.
No, not Federer.
Okay. Nadal,
yes.
Djokovic.
Not Joker.
Pete Sampras.
You don't like this one? I give you a
But
tennis.
it's just
There's
so
not
random.
There's not many different
It's so
tennis.
the idea that somebody lost their first match
Not
they played at a
Sampras.
Grand Slam. It could be anybody. I don't know.
Well, because he came close yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He went to 5
to drop
sets.
it.
Agassi.
No, not Agassi.
How about Bjorn Borg?
Borg, yes.
John McEnroe.
Not McEnroe.
Jimmy Connors.
Not Connors.
Rod Laver.
No.
Ilya Nastasi. Boris Becker.
No.
Stefan Edberg.
No.
I mean, we could be here for a while.
He's got a
Chief.
court named after him.
He's got a court named Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe, yes. Ashe, Nadal, Borg, and now Alcaraz.
How about it?
Yeah.
How about
I think it's good company. Is it not? I don't know.
It is good company, there's no doubt, but I just don't know how much of an accomplishment.
I guess we won't have time for this week in the rest of baseball. So last night, the Mariners, obviously, they're trying to push to get Cal Raleigh to be I mean, he should win starting catcher, I assume. But everyone in the starting lineup had a big dumper themed walk-up song. So it was like "Shake Your Booty" was one of them. Get up off of that thing. Shake Your Groove thing. These were all the honky tonk, badonka donk. These were all the walk-up songs for everyone in the lineup. As the
don't hate it.
Yesterday for the Mariners game. So yeah, I thought that was cool. James Wood on Sunday got intentionally walked 4 times. First time a player has been intentionally walked 4 times in a single game since 2004 when
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, Barry Bonds.
I mean,
yeah, duh.
Right.
Cal Raleigh had his 33rd home run last night. I guess while they were playing the music, so I guess it worked out. Fifth player in MLB history to reach 33 home runs before the end of June.
Okay.
Only 5 players with 33.
McGuire.
Yes, McGuire in 98. Bonds in which year?
The year he hit 7. I don't know what year.
01. Was that the year they hit? I guess it had to be. Bonds in 01. Sosa, same year as Mark. 98.
How many others?
Oh, there's another guy, same exact year, also 98. One more.
It was one of these two guys. It was either Ken Griffey or Greg Vaughn. Griffey.
It was Griffey, yes. Yeah. So that is the company Cal Raleigh joins.
That year was like the most cartoonish year.
They should do it again.
Yeah, they should. I don't disagree with that. It's weird. Look at how many players are hitting all these home runs. That's crazy. Like the guys, the forgotten guys, like the guys that hit 58 home runs that season are otherwise would be the greatest season of all time. But we don't even remember it because McGuire and Sosa. All right. Very good. There was one other sports question at trivia last night, but it's the easiest question that you could ever. I can't believe people got this wrong.
A lot of pressure now.
For the 2024 MLB season, the leader of this statistic was Ryan Helsley with 49. That alone. For the 2024-25 NHL season, the leader of this statistic was Igor Shesterkin with 1,584. What is the shared name of this statistic? Could be anything.
Holds, maybe?
Yeah, holds.
Hits? That's this hockey thing. Hits?
Couldn't believe.
Saves? Who didn't get it? Ken didn't get that?
I don't know if Ken. I assume Ken would have gotten it. He wasn't playing. All right, very good. Let's get tubular.
Okay, everybody, it's going to be quick today.
What was the main focus today, Coach?
Fundamentals, ball control. It's always huge.
Any early thoughts on the competition this year?
Well, look, this is the best of the best players in the world. It's going to be an amazing tournament.
Tournament?
Yeah, the BMW Championship at Caves Valley. What are you guys talking about? All they ever ask me about is football.
Of course, Orioles-Rangers game 2 tonight, 8:05 on Masson, Brandon Young, and Jacob DeGrom. Go get him, bud.
I got DeGrom.
Yeah. Me too. Weird. Wimbledon coverage continues on ESPN. Arthur
Coco,
Rinderknecht
what's Coco?
Attempts to take out.
When's Coco supposed to start?
Zverev. Yeah, it should be soon, I think. Hang on a second.
Choco.
They have it at 1:55.
Oh, okay.
She's the third match on
cool.
center court. Also coming up, baseball-wise, Masson 2, Tigers Nationals 6:45, TBS, Guardians Cubs 8:05, MLB Network Yankees Blue Jays 3:07, White Sox Dodgers 10:10. That also happens to be the MLB TV free game of the day. The Commissioner's Cup final in the WNBA tonight, the Fever and the Lynx at 8 o'clock. TNT and True TV for apparently there was the first time anyone has cared about anything related to the Club World Cup was last night because
Man City lost, right?
To
Al Hilal.
Yeah, like 4-3. It was a wild one.
Sounds crazy.
First time anybody has talked about the Club World Cup.
I can't imagine
whatsoever.
if I was watching that live.
Sure.
I probably would have been losing my mind.
Except for that we were watching a baseball game that was
also happened to end up being.
Anyway, tonight, Borussia Dortmund and Monterrey at 9 o'clock. DAZN this afternoon has Real Madrid and Juventus at 3. CW tonight for WWE NXT at 8. Anything non-sports wise?
It's the Ironheart, the Disney on Disney Plus. That's the Iron Man kind of thing. The finale, the final 3 episodes of that. At least of season
this was
1.
just 6 episodes, and it was
3
3
last
and 3.
week,
Yeah.
3 this week.
You
You gotta wait until 9 o'clock as well tonight. By the way,
I haven't watched the first 3.
Train wreck, another episode of another train wreck, doc thing on Netflix. The Cult of American Apparel.
American Apparel.
It was in the mid-2000s, a new clothing brand emerged, capturing the attention of fashion enthusiasts and young adults across America. The brand is known for its provocative advertising and unique approach to retail.
I don't remember that at
The
all.
guy that owned it, so he had a lot of young employees, and apparently the guy was a psychopath. His name was like Dove or something, and he was like sleeping with employees and was very rude and mean to all the workers, and it sounds like it quickly fizzled out.
Apparently, it still exists.
American Apparel does? Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe I guess he sold. I guess I don't know. I don't know how it ended. That's really. I know you'll be locked in. We're turning this on after the show, I assume. On Hulu, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Season 2 reunion.
Oh, hell yeah, brother!
Season 2 reunion
Get right
special
on that
for Mormon Wives.
Very good. Make sure you send me Tubular for the rest of the week.
Okay, I will.
Very good.
Let's see, good. Heads of Status tomorrow.
It's important.
The Prime,
and
it's going straight to Prime Video.
That's a big.
so-
And when is Sinners?
Friday.
Friday.
Yes. And then Shark Week starts on Saturday.
Probably missed that.
What do you mean?
Thanks to Evan Brown. Thanks to Gianni Davis, Vernon Davis' son, who's going to Maryland. And thanks to Eric Arditti. We'll get all that up in the greatest hits section of the.
Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge.
That's your Scott Stapp.
I can't.
Tab
I
it.
don't
Tab
have
it.
good,
GlennClarkRadio.com.
I don't have that good of a Scott Staff.
Thank you. Tomorrow. Oh God, Griffin doesn't care. Lord, this is the biggest issue. Is when I tell him that he's got to go over everything, and he's gonna be like, deuces. Up yours, a-hole.
Yeah, stuff. I mean, there'll be something. I'm sure.
Hope.
For sure.
Thanks,
maybe the
everybody.
Orioles won't get no hit, and then you'll talk about
Maybe.
it.
Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Game Day Men's Health, Maryland 5-Star, Live Casino and Hotel, the BMW Championship, Crown Trophy, Easy Pass, Baltimore's Classic 5 Golf Courses, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Costa Sin, Maryland Sports, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Tuesday evening. Go Birds. Duke sucks.